from the Where Are They Now files. It's Fever Dog by John BB Project's Post Band. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. I got to tell you this. The Almost Bennington t-shirts are out there. In a little bit, we're going to put together something. Vito put up a video that Vito has put together of that, starring Chris Stanley and friends. Hey guys, fucking my favorite part of that whole thing.
So funny, man.
So I'm kind of out of contact and knowing how we're doing this today. I can't get a text on it, but we'll be putting that up on the iBang in just a little bit. No Jen today. Jen is out because I don't know, about a block and a half, 2 blocks from here, where she comes in every day from New Jersey, a failed suicide bomber. And you see the video of him just fucking laying there like an idiot, like a kid making snow angels.
Yes.
Blew himself up. What a fucking maroon. There he is. But I have to say that this is literally our 9/11 here in New York City.
Exactly. Now we know what it's like.
Now we're all part of it. We're Midtown strong. This is so stupid. So incredibly dumb.
Yeah, no other, I think, major injuries. There were some like minor injuries, but the only major injury, I believe, was to the suspect. And he is in custody.
Yeah, he's at Bellevue. He actually said this, ouch, it hurts. Oh my God, no one ever said it was going to hurt this much. That's what he said to the police. Fever Dog. When Cameron Crowe never brings this up, but that is a 100% Bad Company song, and he always says, "Oh, it's based on the Allman Brothers and the Eagles," but that song is pure Bad Company.
It is Bad Company, and isn't there in the movie? There's reference to someone's going out with Bad Company or a tour with Bad Company. I feel like Bad Company is referenced, and obviously
most bands are referenced in that movie somewhere. Including Humble Pie's manager.
Humble Pie's manager sold you for a case of beer to Humble Pie. The way he says it sounds insulting to Humble Pie, like as though there are better bands to sell.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, by 73, I think Humble Pie was getting a little frayed around the edges. All right, so we'll put that up, and you can pick up the Almost Bennington t-shirt. Just hold on, Vito. You did such good work. We don't need you being stupid. And if you order today, you get the signed Thanksgiving poster as well.
Oh, nice!
So go ahead and do your thing now, Vito.
Go to thebenningtonshow.com to order your t-shirt, and if you order today, you'll get a free poster, and you'll be getting it by Christmas if you order today.
Are you sure?
If you order today, I am sure.
You always make me nervous with that.
I checked in this time. This isn't just a bold claim.
All right, so that's the Almost Bennington t-shirt and the signed poster. Well, look, that's all I've ever wanted for Christmas right there. That would be perfect.
I love that poster.
So go over today to the places that Vito just mentioned, and you can check the Bennington Show Twitter. And also, I think, because we're kind of out of step here with Jen out, but we should be tweeting Vito's Almost Bennington film piece, as it were. If you remember, we did that kind of funky little stupid bit from the show when we announced the t-shirt from the movie, and Vito went back and synced us up with the lips of the actors.
Yes.
And I have to say, Vito, talent.
Very talented.
Talent. Did you think that we would like it? Did you feel like you nailed it?
I don't know. Whenever you edit something, like you're looking at it for like 8 hours, so you have no idea what anybody else is going to think about it.
Yes, that's true.
You're like, I don't know if this is great or the worst thing ever.
Anytime I've been in the editing room for video or audio, I said the project's over because we stink. I do it every single time.
Yeah, if you're not used to that stuff, you're like, none of this makes sense and it'll never come together.
And people always say to me, look, I want you to go out, have a little lunch, come back in about an hour and a half. I think you're going to be happier. But it's terrible. Just remember, it's terrible. All right, so that is up. Now, you want to just play a little bit of it, Chris?
Yeah.
Or not? It's up to you.
Your first,
What's wrong?
gentlemen, your first T-shirts have arrived. Yeah.
Is it working, Chris? Yeah. Then let it work.
It's the record company's mistake, and they will pay. T-shirts gone, band happy, all right?
Can we just skip the vibe and go straight to us laughing about this?
Yeah, okay.
Because I can see by your face you want to get into it.
How can you tell? I'm just one of the out-of-focus guys.
Here. Take it. Let's take a good look at it, all right? See, you love this T-shirt. It lets you say everything you want to say.
Well, it speaks pretty loudly to me.
It's a T-shirt. Do you give a shit about a T-shirt?
I'm just hungry, man. Let's just go out and find some barbecue or something.
Look, I'm always going to tell you the truth.
Are you doing coke again?
Oh, yeah, all the time. This is big stuff, man. From the very beginning, we said I'm the front man, and you're the guitarist with Mystique. That's the dynamic we agreed on. Page, Plant, Mick, Keith, Blackmore, Gillen. But somehow it's all turning around. We have got to control what's happening. There's a responsibility here.
Excuse me, but didn't we all get into this to avoid responsibility?
I can't say any more with the writer here.
No. You can trust him. Say what you want. He won't write it.
Look, I work as hard or harder than anybody on that stage. You know what I do? I connect. I get people off. I look for the one guy who isn't getting off, and I make him get off. Actually, that you can print. And yet, why do I always end up feeling like I'm a joke to you? Look, do you want to pretend that this isn't going to be a very big band? Well, it is. You call yourself a leader of this band, but your direction allowed this T-shirt when you allowed Dick to manage us, because he's your friend. Don't you see, man? The T-shirt is everything.
All right, is it my turn now? Because I think we should, for once, say what we really mean.
Oh, this is the part where you quit.
Right, I'm so predictable.
Deal with it. And let me just say what nobody else wants to say
What?
to you. Your looks have become a problem. Oh, there's the T-shirt at the end. Great job, Vito. Vito,
Killed it, Vito.
I was trying to see if I could tell where it was out of sync. I couldn't find it.
You did a great job.
You guys, thank you. It was a fun experience.
Was it?
Yeah.
I might have you do shit every weekend now.
You don't like to have a life, right?
No, I'm fine. I'll be in the editing lab every weekend, all weekend.
He was out at a big comedy show this weekend. For the guy not having a life, he went out and saw Chris Rock.
Holy shit.
Yes, I did. And his openers were Jeff Ross and one of the girls from HBO's Insecure. And it was an amazing show.
Wow,
Was
that
it
sounds
really?
awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've loved Chris Rock my entire life. So getting to actually like see him perform was a dream.
Who did you go with?
I went with a friend from college.
Ooh.
Oh.
Anyone we know?
No, it's just my friend named Evan.
Okay. Sweet.
Ooh.
Mm.
Evan.
Seems like it's starting up again.
So the dance begins.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we're just friends, you know.
Sure, I understand.
okay.
With benefits. If it fits. Should that be the new thing that we say?
If it fits.
Yeah. You know, there's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as a man having too big of a penis for any vagina on the planet. And the reason that they figured that out was babies.
Yeah. They're like, no one has a whole baby-sized penis, so...
Too bad. I would, right down to the little feet. Hey, Laurie.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you?
Good.
I love you all so much.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe it, but I ordered my poster my T-shirt last week. But now, will I get a poster too?
You know what? Since you called, yes.
Oh, good.
All right, Laurie. Because it's
Thank you.
beginning to feel a lot like Gimbals. That was the thing that Gimbals did.
Clever.
In Philly when I was growing up. It's beginning to feel a lot like Gimbals. And I was like, man, Christmas is getting really fucking corporate, dude. Hey, Kevin.
Now we have happy holidays.
Ronnie B, how are you, sir?
Cool.
For the longest time, the outro that you guys used from Almost Famous, I thought it was you guys saying that. Probably the first 5 to 10 times I heard it.
It was
and
us.
It blew me away when I finally realized it was from the movie.
It was us in the movie.
You are home.
You are home.
Hey, Gail, the girl sounds exactly like you.
The girl.
I do sound like the girl.
Kate Hudson is the girl. It's beginning to be... Chris, can I tell you about Chris's Christmas present and I'll leave it alone?
Okay.
I'll just give you this clue. He went to Jared's.
What? You went to Jared's?
They have the finest, classiest things at Jared's. All right. If you go and order a Bennington, Almost Bennington t-shirt, you will be able to pick up a poster, a signed poster by us. Run on over to all the places that you said. Bennington, Twitter, plus what else, Vito?
BenningtonShow.com and iBangShop.com.
Yeah. Now, they will come separately because Chris is sending the posters out.
Yes, they will. They will come.
And you're coming in the tubes, and people are happy with the way they arrive.
Yes, they're coming in nice tubes where the poster
Nice tubes.
is safe
Oh.
and
Yeah.
secure.
Safe.
It
Yeah.
comes not screwed up. And some might be larger tubes because those are the only tubes we had, but they will be tubes and they will be safe.
Tubes. He just keeps saying tubes.
Tubes.
Over and over.
I'm going to call you tubular.
That's when he's always talking about the waves that he likes. Going to go get some fresh tubes. I keep watching to see if Black Girl Douglas is involved in any of that stuff
I know, I
because he
hope
was
not.
supposed to work today. And he is nothing but an asshole. Jeff, Cherry Hill. Turn your radio down.
Hey, buddy.
The moose outside should have
Can you hear
told
me?
you. No, turn your radio down.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. What's up?
So it's I don't know how to feel. It was a great night last night, and found out this morning that Carson Wentz has a torn ACL.
Well,
It's over.
here's how to feel. That's a Nick Foles city all the way around. And that team folds for nobody. Okay? And quite frankly, Wentz was starting to bore me.
With his perfection?
Take him away!
All
He
the touchdowns.
bores me! Look,
All the touchdowns, yes.
I've said
It
it
was getting-
before.
it was getting old.
I've said it before, man. Part of being a quarterback is you got to stay healthy. You can't go
Yeah.
running out there like that. You just can't do it.
I saw that hit him right away. I felt sick because I
Yeah.
was like, you just saw him get like smashed at like three
pancaked.
different angles at once, and I was like,
There's-
oh God, no.
There's a video on Twitter of him walking. It's a slow-mo shot of somebody recording him on TV, and him walking away from that touchdown throw. and his leg buckles to the side. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. ACL
Terrible.
It's the worst. It used to be a career ender. It no longer is. But my wish comes through. We get Nick Foles for the rest of the season. People forget. Remember his early year? Mm-hmm. He was the man.
Yeah, Foles gets goals, we used to say.
Foles gets goals. And I think the entire Delaware Valley is going to forget about Mr. Carson Wentz and his craziness. Yeah, it was too bad because it was a really fun game. And then that next game, Steelers and Ravens, was a really fun game. So, what are you going to do? Fucking terrible sport.
It is.
Trump knows it. Bannon knows it. Everybody knows
Trump tried to warn us about this sport and the NFL in general.
Guess what? Now Carson Wentz can't kneel. Okay? How's that, Trump? This was in the news over the weekend. I wasn't even aware of it, but some of the celebrated people out there in Hollywood, they are not. They said they won't come into Sirius XM because Bannon Skypes in. I guess to one. I don't know what channel he Skypes to.
That's
Patriot.
It's Patriot, the Breitbart morning show.
Breitbart. Hey guys, the shirts are here. That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Thank you.
Here's what I loved.
Yeah.
You weren't playing yourself and you weren't playing him.
I know.
I don't know.
Your first T-shirts have arrived.
Hey everybody, your first T-shirts have. Was that tough directing for you?
Yeah, we were doing that one for a while.
Is that right?
There were a lot of takes.
Did
Just
you
one
feel
line.
like why didn't you just either do your own voice or attempt to do him?
Well, what I was attempting to do is just try to get to sync it up. That's what I was trying my best to do. And I guess in doing that, I was doing some weird other voice.
I would agree with that, but you were doing that weird other voice even when there wasn't video to sync up.
Was that the same thing I was doing?
Yes, remember how much we were laughing that you were doing that? And then you started getting mad at us?
Look on Twitter.
I begged him to do a British accent. I just thought it would flow better.
Dude, you should have.
I didn't think I was doing a British accent. I didn't think it was my place.
You aren't a British. You weren't doing a British accent.
No, I didn't want to do a British accent.
Why don't you try to do something other than radio guy?
Like, what about just like playing Chris Stanley?
Hey, everybody, the T-shirts are here.
No, how would you say it if you were bringing the T-shirts to me and Gail?
Guys, the T-shirts are here.
That's what you would say?
I would, yeah. If they just arrived, I would come and say, guys, the T-shirts are here. I was
did it again.
You don't know who you are.
What? Like, that's not you.
You don't know who you are. You don't know where you're going. You're going to be visited by 3 goats.
Adorable.
You've been bad. Well, that's good. The goat. I felt like I was watching the British Bake Off show. Anyway, those things are up. I felt like I was watching the British Bake Off show. Anyway, those things are up on the on all the places that you can buy the T-shirts and you can get the posters. Now, going back to this Bannon thing, I kind of feel like I'm old school First Amendment, and I don't know how you could say I'm not going to go anywhere that a guy works. I mean, you're not going on his show.
Definitely.
And it's almost like saying, I won't post on the internet since they let Breitbart on the internet. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And quite frankly, I'm going to be honest about this. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but me and Bannon don't share a lot of the same politics. But I mean, you could say that about so many people that work here. It makes up
people that are on your show.
Yeah, this is
people on your show. You do not agree with everything about them.
Yes, and I have always felt like it's never a safe thing to go. I just don't want to. I want to pretend that person doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to. I like to pretend that other people's politics don't exist is not the answer to. It's not the answer to good conversation. First of all,
I will also say this: I'm sure me and Bannon have never voted the same way on anything, and yet when I read a lot of stuff, there are many things that I agree with him on.
Really?
Many. Yes. I mean the working class American thing, the Democratic Party, which I've belonged to my entire adult life, forgot those premises, the rolling out and building the infrastructure, I 100% agree upon, and the Democratic Party forgot about that. So what my point is, just because you don't agree with someone on every political thing, it's not that there's things that you can agree with, and also there's things that you can learn.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're wrong about everything because you disagree. And I don't see Bannon as being like a crazy person. I would actually say this. I would feel closer to what Bannon wants to do, which I think he has an actual philosophy, than what I think the president wants to do. And I don't think he has a philosophy at all.
Yeah.
I think he's just running around fucking doing whatever. And I think Bannon realizes that as much as anyone.
And you also get the feeling that he would go where the change shifts in order to keep his position safe.
Who? The president? Trump. I think he tries to win, whatever that means to him.
Exactly.
I don't know what any of that means. I can't really tell you Trump's motivation,
right,
but I would be able to tell you Bannon's motivation. And I think he's an actual believer in what he thinks is right for the country. And I don't know a lot of people who go around thinking country first.
Right. So, I mean, he has political ideas that in his mind are best for the country.
Absolutely.
Whereas at least you could say Trump is very interested in Trump. I think everyone knows that.
I would say this for Bannon. Not only do I think that he thinks it's best for the country today, I think what he believes things that are best for the country long term.
Yeah.
And when I say the country, I mean the working people of the country, the people that we refer to as Americans, and those ideas.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree with everything. I probably don't even agree with most things. We would have plenty to disagree with, but I don't see him as a crazy madman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably other people on the Patriot Channel that I would be like, well, they're loonier than Bannon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Melissa Etheridge says she's quitting Volume. That's her call.
Right.
I mean, everybody, we all came through the window already. We all got that song.
Such a good song.
It's fucking great.
It's like really one of the best.
I remember when she used to be called like the female Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And I wish she would have kept that up. I wish she would have just covered a bunch of his stuff.
I mean, that's like some fucking really solid songwriting. That song is still so great.
Did I just see the artist formerly known as Disco Dan over there?
Yes, you did.
What's he up to?
Hey, Dan, come on over.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
Dan?
I like your new catchphrase.
Hey. Hey, Fonzie, what's going on?
How we doing?
Good.
It's a Monday. I'm safe and sound after some scary events this morning.
You weren't part of that, were you?
No, Ron, I live uptown. I don't have to go to the Port Authority every day.
So why do you feel like it was scary for you?
I watched it on TV, so okay. I underwent a lot of trauma.
All right, I understand that. Jim in Florida. Jim, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ron. Is the interrobang stooping to the Washington Post headline clickbait? Because Hannibal Buress did not fight the cops. He got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, what is the headline? I didn't see the headline. I saw the video. What's it say, Chris?
Hannibal Buress fights with cops, gets arrested, and it's caught on video.
Well, only 2 out of 3 are right.
Well, it's caught on video. Well, yeah, that's still pretty good. I guess argues with cops would have been better because he did. He said he wasn't getting in the car.
Yeah, and they put him in the car, but he did not fight back or resist. They bailed him out $500 the next morning.
All right, we all get that, but I think fights they meant a verbal fight. And he did do that.
Well, I agree. I saw the video, but I didn't. I was expecting, altercation.
Jim, I'm sorry you didn't get what you asked.
Who wrote the headline? Is that a Vito or is that a Chris?
I'm not sure who was on that. Because a lot of people send stuff in. But I'm sorry that you didn't get the headline that you felt like you deserved, or you didn't get the video. All right. Thanks a lot. So yeah, and I don't understand. Like, the thing is, it would be easy to say, the cops did, but I didn't see what took place before. But they said he was trespassing, and I don't think that was true, was it? He was just on the street.
I think he was at a bar, then was outside a bar, and I don't exactly know what
happens every once in a while, and this happens in the city, is they'll just pick off a black drunk guy.
They're just like, this guy's trouble.
Just like cops picked off a black drunk guy, and they didn't realize that he was famous. That thing, like, his voice comes through like it's his stage voice. It's like he's dealing with a heckler.
Really?
Yeah. Just play it a little bit.
Under arrest. Am I for what? Explain what I'm under. Explain what I'm detained for. Explain what I'm detained for. Burning and delegate. What am I detained for? Trespassing. What am I detained for?
All right, stop it right there. Now, while that is not a physical fight, it's definitely a verbal fight.
Yeah. He's arguing. For
yes.
Sure.
So that's up on the iBang. It was just a crazy weekend, and the young kid who became the internet sensation, and has now been invited to UFC. I believe the Tennessee football team has invited him in. So has the professional team. And he was invited to the Avengers premiere.
By Chris Evans, right? Yeah.
Chris Evans or Chris Pine?
I don't know. I almost said Pratt, so then I switched it to Evans, and I thought
funny.
I was right.
All three of those Chris's are interchangeable.
And Snoop Dogg said, DM me so we can chop it up sometime.
Yeah, I don't know if chopping it up is as good as taking a fucking trip to L.A.
Yeah.
All right, but just this, by the way, this kid is just unbelievable. He's a little boy who was getting bullied at school, so his mom videotaped it.
Just out of curiosity, why do they bully? What's the point of it? Why do you find joy in taking innocent people and finding a way to be mean to them? It's not okay.
What do they say to you?
They make fun of my nose. They call me ugly. They say I have no friends.
What'd they do to you at lunch?
Pour milk on me and put ham down my clothes. Threw bread at me.
Is it just you?
Yep.
Or is it other kids too that feel that way?
Say it's other kids too.
How's that make you feel?
I don't like that they do it to me, and I for sure don't like that they do it to other people, because it's not okay. People that are different don't need to be criticized about it, because it's not their fault. But if you are made fun of, just don't let it bother you. Just stay strong, I guess. It's hard. But it'll probably get better one day.
That kid is amazing, man.
He breaks my heart.
Dude, you know who he reminds me of? Is the kid in Sling Blade. Like, he's got so much expression, and he just tears you apart. I just wish, what was the bad guy's name in Sling Blade?
Doyle.
I wish that this kid just started throwing some cans at Doyle. One of my favorite scenes of all time, when he's just whipping cans at Doyle. Yeah. That kid is amazing.
I know. He just broke my heart. And it's crazy, like, it was over the weekend. He just dominated on all social media.
And both Republicans and Democrats, like Sean Hannity said he'd throw in 10 G's.
Yes.
They're just throwing to get money. I mean, this is amazing. Now, what I really want to hear from, and I haven't yet, is the school and what the bully kids had to say.
Because I know that somebody, I'm not sure which, maybe it was one of the football players who reached out to them, but somebody was like trying to go to the school in order to have a talk about bullying. But like, how embarrassing if you're the fucking milk throwing kids, or you're just sitting there like, oh boy.
The only person
Did he name names?
Here's who I feel worse for is the milk throwing kids' parents. How do they make that fucking case?
Man, that's funny that you said that, because I was on the train with a woman. She was waiting at the platform. This is like a couple days ago. And she was the parent of of the bully.
Yeah.
And she's on the phone and she's like, don't ask me for your phone back. When I get home, we're going to have a conversation. And she's just like, how do you think it makes me feel? I work with children every day. I work with kids. That's what I do for a living. And I got to get a call that you threw a sandwich at a child. What is wrong with you? I mean, she was so upset. And you're like, she seemed like she cared. She obviously feels like she had given some lessons.
But it's not going to get through to a kid because they're a kid. Like, I read that people say, like, kids aren't born bullies. I'm like, no, it's not. Kids bully their siblings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a fucking dark thing that happens. But kids fucking terrorize each other. Most kids felt like that kid when I was growing up.
And I wouldn't say that, like, even it's always learned at home. You know, like, sometimes people think that it's learned at home. I think that sometimes parents are shocked that their kids get around other kids. Have you ever seen any of those, like, hidden camera things where someone has to see their kid and they just act differently because it's, like, their first time interacting without adult supervision? And they're going to, you know, go with the pack or do something like that. It's weird, but it does happen that way. But this kid's so heartbreaking. I mean, like, do you just want to hug this kid?
He's just a regular
kidding?
kid, and he's trying to fucking, you know, just be a kid. But, like I said, most people have felt like that. There was back in the West End of Chester, there was a guy that went on to become a professional football player. And the nuns kept everybody in. It was something. So his dad shows up. The whole class is being kept in. He went in, yanked the kid's pants down, allegedly. I wasn't there. I heard this story. And started spanking him in front of the fucking class. Even though it was the whole class was in trouble, then he screamed at the nun, "Are you satisfied?" That's the story I was told. And that kid went on to become a professional football player. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? I think everybody at one time or another has felt like that kid.
Yeah.
And one time at everybody or another has bullied somebody. Sometimes you don't even know you're bullying people.
Yeah.
You think you're joking, you make a joke.
You don't know it's something that somebody's sensitive about, or like 100 other kids have already teased them about it. You don't really realize.
Well, who knows? Or maybe you can't tell a joke properly.
The only comforting thing is that you, like, what I really want to say is, like, yeah, it's good. It's terrible right now, and what you're feeling is totally like, your feeling is not little. What you're feeling is awful. You're experiencing hell within your own world. But when you're older, you will be able to look back and look at how small
I know it
is.
doesn't feel like that when you're a kid. Now, here's my thing, though. His mom putting this out there suddenly makes a little boy who isn't a public figure a public figure.
Now,
and
from what I can
we're not going to know if somebody bullied him because he picked on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit could come out, and this kid is in it.
Now, from what I can see on the way the video had been shared on Twitter, is that I think that the mother might have put it on her Facebook to show within her own group of followers or friends.
And that's also enormous, though.
And then someone picked it up because it's like watermarked by some other guy who's not involved with the family who put it out and made it kind of viral.
Dude, one time we were playing baseball in this field, right? We see this woman come walking up, and she's holding a fat kid's hand. And they're walking all the way across the field. And she explains to us that it's this kid's father owns this field. And if we expect to keep playing there, he's got to be able to play with us. This is like a fucking nightmare.
Right.
For a fucking, what was basically a shut-in kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, because he was a shut-in kid, he couldn't play ball. If he would have walked up himself and said, "Can I play ball?"
It would have been,
we put everybody out there. We were fucking, we were a bunch of fucking little kids. But I remember just thinking to myself, I fucking die.
Oh, yeah.
My mom did that. When I had to walk home from first grade, we used to walk to school, right? I get down to the end of my fucking block, and my mom was waiting there. I go, get out of here. You fucking gonna... I was so fucking pissed at her. I did not want anyone to see that my mom was waiting. What are you trying to fucking do to me? I had never walked all that way to school.
Right.
I'm like 5 years old at the time. And now looking back, I'm like, she was probably thinking to herself, I don't know if this moron can do this.
Right.
He has never walked to the other side. What is he going to wander off and do? Hey, Greg in Virginia.
Awesome. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
I was listening to your conversation, and just one thing came to mind.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what you thought that the bullied kids, I'm sorry, the kids that are bullying, how many of them are actually going to church?
Well, I can't speak for today, but all the kids I knew were Catholic, and they all went to church, not just on Sundays, but on a regular, where the class had to come over, and those kids would knock you the fuck out. No matter how much they were told not to. They would punch you.
All right.
So I don't think, I mean, I know that even the thought of eternal damnation didn't stop kids from being assholes. I kind of feel like kids
are kids. And look, you can go across the board. It's the same with, like sex before marriage. I don't really think that changes anything for Catholic kids or Christian kids. It doesn't. There are going to be a select few who are like, really hang on to those lessons. But like, they probably would have been kids who would have been good kids in any circumstance with any good structure in their life.
And kids are kids. Adults are adults too. Adults aren't so great. Hey, Rob, what's up? Rob. Did we lose you, buddy? Yeah, buddy, what's up?
On Jim and Sam's show this morning, they brought up that people had looked on the background, and I guess the kid's holding onto a Confederate flag. Do you think there are people that are now going to start trying to turn the tide on this situation?
Well, I hadn't heard that story, but like I said, there's no kid that's an angel. Like this kid he's a kid too. He's a kid.
They're saying there's a Confederate flag in the video?
And by the way, just because he said these things don't mean that the other kids went as far as terrible as people know. I don't know the situation.
By the way, I have, at least in my own personal experience, kids in my school who were often bullied often lashed out back and said mean things. I mean, I'm not even saying that it's wrong to do it when you're put in a corner, but, could be violent, could be upset. I'm not saying that about this kid, but like you said, kids are kids. So they're going to react hurt or upset. I mean, obviously, it just breaks your heart because this kid is going through something terrible, and he's just one kid. I think everybody can relate to that feeling of just feeling so crushed about that when you're a kid.
Yeah, and you're going to feel crushed about a lot of shit, too. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody has to deal with some fucking amount of whatever this social awkwardness of childhood. And by the way, adulthood is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Scott in Illinois.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie? Yeah, you said years back when it was just you and Fez still, or whatever, that you always told your kids that no matter where they sit, that's the cool table. Just try to give them that confidence, about just, hey, who gives a fuck what the other kids are doing and be yourself. That's something that
I remember being down like the beach meeting these other kids, right? So I met this girl, and she was fucking just a nice girl. So we're all fucking around and stuff, and then this other person comes to me and she goes, this girl is like a fucking geek, and no one in Coatesville High School likes her because she's a fucking weirdo. And I go, first of all, everyone in Coatesville is the fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? The weird thing is living in Coatesville. That's the fucking weirdos. You know what I mean? Like, how could there be a cool fucking kids table in Iowa? You know what I mean? If you're cool in Iowa, you're probably a fucking weirdo. You think they were going to accept Jim Carroll, Lou Reed, in these fucking places? Very rarely. Patti Smith was probably considered a fucking lunatic in South Jersey.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the weird thing is when you think someone else is cool. That's where you're making the mistake.
Yeah.
Some fucking kid might be the coolest fucking artist ever, and he's going to go and do comic books. And other kids are like, this idiot sits around and draws like a moron, like a little baby. He sits and draws superhero pictures. But then you sell those superhero pictures to somebody, and then those comic book kids think you're fucking cool.
Yeah.
What amazed me when I got into radio is how many bands are fucking weirdos and fucking uncool people.
Yeah.
Then I met a lot of the Rolling Stone writers. I idolized those guys when I was a kid. And then I found out, they're pretty nerdy. You know what I mean? They were writing about who fucking knows what cool is. You have to decide what cool is. And if you think it's somebody else, that's like the least cool thing you could do. Sam and in Virginia. Sam, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie. How you doing, bud?
Good.
I actually saw this video for the first time last night, and I took the time to show it to my 3 kids. I have a 7-year-old, 11-year-old, and 12-year-old. And I know every kid goes through some type of bullying in their life. Personally, in my experience, and speaking for self, I think that it's a life moment when something finally builds up. You have to make a decision to stand your ground, change the situation for yourself, or if you can't, then obviously try to better the situation for yourself in another way. Now, my heart goes out to this poor kid for obvious reasons, but at the same time, we can't expect society to change around bullying. You have to stand up to bullying in the correct way. Am I wrong?
Well, maybe you're right. And then there's the thing of you're immediately bullying somebody else by being, you know what I mean? Because you find out that bully's fucking lashing out because he has a tough time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, so
they're always saying someone who's lashing out probably has something that's going on at home.
Right. Or somewhere else. Or maybe they got little fucking gentle mental problems that are going to pop out in a couple years. You know, it's so easy. It's still the mob mentality when you turn on the bully. You know what I mean? I've said this before. I think all crime is some version of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else. So if you're like, we need to lock up, you know.
But we do change. The society does change when they decide that they are like an old way of life is barbaric. It happens all the time. And no, none of those things you're ever going to stamp out racism or sexism or bullying or whatever the thing that becomes more taboo that used to be acceptable.
Right.
But generations do moderate the way they decide to, interact with each other. It does happen.
Yes, but we also decide who's on the outs all the time.
Right.
There's always somebody on the outs. Like right away, it was this kid holding a rebel flag as if the kids were bullying him because something that deals with either states' rights or it's just fucking crazy. My initial thing when I saw this was, why did this kid's mom not go to the school?
Right.
She could have walked in there with a lawyer and said, if anyone fucks with this kid, we'd love to sue this school. It would have been probably kinder on the kid than this.
Right.
She did it this way. A bunch of celebrities are jumping out because it makes them feel better about themselves or, whatever, for whatever reason. But you're still making this kid an outsider. And he kind of, needs to accept wherever he is at any time. I mean, that's the thing that you're always looking for. Hey, John, what's up, buddy?
Hey there, Ronnie B. I got some sad news in the food world.
What's that?
It looks like Mario Batali's the next one to go down for sexual misconduct.
Yeah, I saw that. He's been asked to step down from the Chew, the TV show where they just chew, they don't swallow at all. And it's
like the food version of wine tasting. You just spit it right out on TV.
But here's something interesting, right? Like, if you chewed some food and took it out, could you then put it back in your mouth and start chewing it?
I'd rather not.
It seems very
weird?
gross, right?
Yeah.
Except for bubblegum. You will continue to do it with bubblegum.
That's right.
But you won't do it with a piece of chicken.
Because for some reason, the enzymes or whatever, it's not breaking it down to, it's still like, once you chew a piece of gum 4 or 5 times, that's the same pretty much as it's going to look if you chewed it 100 times. But a piece of chicken's gonna get like exponentially worse. And more
Yeah, if it
disgusting.
stays in your mouth, you could chew. They tell you to chew for a minute or whatever. It's the thought of taking it out, looking at that gross thing, and then putting it back in. I'd like to do a scientific study on this and find out why we can bully more people. Bill, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie B, how's it going?
Cool, man.
Just calling about the bullies. So, growing up as a kid, I was a little bit of a bully, and I used to just wail on like these two kids constantly. Get sent home for school, and my mom, she was a single mom, she had no recourse. She thought it'd be a smart idea. Sent me off with an older cousin who used to box, so that just made it worse. It's like I learned how to be better, more proficient at bullying. Now, like that, I'm older and I see stuff like this, man, it tears me apart. Like I want to almost reach out to every kid that I could think of that I was a little dickhead to and just apologize or do something. You know what I mean?
Well, would you ever go back to a reunion, a school reunion?
This would be a great reality show.
Schools, so I don't know if they would even hold those. I don't really stay in contact from people back then. And I had moved to a different high school when I got into high school. So
Why you
I don't know.
Find a private detective and go to one of those kids and just see what's happened. He's like, why would you fucking bring this up? All right, peace.
I'm trying to forget that shit.
I kind of think, unless there's like broken bones or somebody gets an eye knocked out or something, and most kids have gotten bullied and have probably bullied people, even when you don't think you're a bully.
Yeah.
Even if, there's kids that are just crushed if you make fun of their shirt, and then you don't know that they're a poor kid, whatever. You know what I mean?
This is all we could afford. You just have a I was just joking. I said it was a dorky shirt.
We don't have a lot of money.
Shit, dude, I'm sorry. Not a bully.
Paul.
Just making fun of you.
Paul in New Jersey.
Hey, guys. With technology, I always used to think like, oh, hey, because like a lot of times when people get bullied, like when I was a kid, like, they would go telling someone, but the bully would say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
It'd be like their word. But like, I guess, someone explained to me, and I really agreed in the sense that like, if I was getting bullied back in the day at like 2:30 when school was over, it was pretty much done. I can like go home, but now it's just like,
no, that is the big difference. It used to be you could escape to your house, eat some little chocolate donuts, watch the fucking afternoon cartoons, and you'd have a good 12, 14 hours to yourself.
You know how like time is to kids. You're like, tomorrow's forever from now. Like you're like you don't even give a shit.
Fuck. You don't give a shit. Like
and then you're on your way to school the next day, like fuck.
And I remember like going home like in elementary school with homework. My parents would say, "Do you have any homework?" I go, "No, none at all." Knowing that I was going to go in there and figure that's so fucking far away. Even when it turned getting in trouble with my parents for like being late or whatever, I would just be late and take the fucking, take the fucking hit.
Because you can't really absorb like the idea of like consequence the same way when you're a kid.
Plus,
you're just like your friends are like, will you be in trouble? And you're like, yeah. And then like later you're like, why did I do this?
But at that time you're like, I'm having fun now.
Right.
Why would I care about anything else in my life? What are you struggling with over there, dude?
You doing okay?
The Chrome is crapping out on me, and I'm really sweating about it.
So don't care. Don't care at all.
I want to do good for you.
No. First of all,
I want to do good for you.
Speaking of bully, you were accused of being a bully, and some people are accused of bullying you.
Well, I would like to say, as a child, I faced bullying, and bullying begets more bullying. So there you go. Don't bully the children. You won't have any problems.
Did you bully somebody?
No, I don't think so.
But they bullied you?
I was bullied as a child.
By who?
The mean children at my school.
I don't know why they ever stopped. I could see you get bullied at college.
That's why I had to move to a secluded area of New York City to outrun my suburban terrorizers.
It is weird, right? Like, people don't realize that when they think about New York, but at least you don't know the people you're dealing with every day.
Yeah. I had a friend who, like, when he moved here, he had this social anxiety, and he was just like, I don't know, I just moved to Brooklyn, and I just feel like I'm not cool enough to be here, and I just feel like everyone looks at me like I'm out of place. I was like, oh, no one gives a fuck about you here.
Seriously.
I was like, this ain't your high school. No one gives a shit about you. Everyone's interested in what they're doing. We're all a bunch of ants. We're all just like scurrying around trying to survive.
You could dress like Grape Babe.
Like
Nobody's
they
even
really
look at
don't
you.
give a shit. Nobody in New York is like, you're not cool enough to be here. It doesn't happen.
What is that person doing at Saks Fifth Avenue?
It doesn't happen, dude.
I have I was bullied by a man on the subway not like 8 months ago. He had one hand and he kept calling me fat. And so on my way out, I called him like a one-handed fuck.
Why didn't you go like this? Hey, slot machine. The reason why I'm fat is I got two hands to put the fucking food in with.
It's one of the benefits.
Yeah, you know, I thought when I was like 25, I'd be done with that. I could just be openly fat and no one would say anything.
Yeah.
Was that what you were bullied for when you were a kid? Were you a chubby kid?
Well, he's 4 eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I was chubby. Yeah, that was probably one of the main things. I was terrible at sports. We're a very big sports town. And when you suck at sports, you might as well be, you know.
Yeah, but you're going to get bullied during lunch class. Those same idiots get bullied by the teacher during math. You know what I mean? Like a math teacher, that's fucking bullying all the time. Of calling people like you're fucking stupid and shit.
Or like saying like when someone got a bad grade and announcing it to the class. Like nobody's shittier than a teacher who does that.
And they all do it.
And look who's the one person who failed the test. Like you can't.
They do it. That's their fucking.
They do.
That's what they do.
They became teachers because they were bullied. Right. Stop this.
Okay, stop school.
When I
mean, school does seem like old fashioned to me, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Like you don't need to physically go to that place. At least not every day. You know what I mean? What if they just start to have you show up a couple days a week in school? Oh, well, then teachers will lose their jobs. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a fucking reason. And, what about prom? Prom. I went to 3 proms. They barely fucking remembered. It was whacked the fuck out. Prom. The kids won't have a prom. It comes up every time with homeschooling. Hard Rock Johnny bullies people who don't have famous pants.
That's not right.
I do not. And that video last night made me cry like a little baby. It was horrible.
That kid is great.
I know.
I mean, seriously, if I was a movie producer, I'd try to put that kid in something because he is so expressive, man.
I know.
And he just
it's
rips
like
your
all
heart.
the pain in his face
But I felt like his mother was like pushing him to go for.
She's like, what else?
Other kids too, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what does this even mean? What you're trying to get out of the kid? Why put that video up?
I'm not really sure. I obviously don't think she realized the way something like that could go viral, but still, even if you were like putting it out to your friends and family, it's like that kid doesn't want his tears on.
I know, but you see, here's the thing. There's a GoFundMe for this kid too. They're throwing up big cash for him.
All right, what are they going to buy him?
In a college education so he can get bullied well into his fucking doctorate. I mean, if you look at a lot of successful people, are you telling me Bill Gates wasn't fucking bullied?
Of course he was.
Yeah, that's a fucking stone cold nerd.
I mean, he looks like a pipsqueak.
Yeah.
I started watching some of the videos that other people put out, and I'm still trying to figure out the Delaney Walker one, which was great that he reached out, but he read him a quote from Buddha, and I'm still trying to figure out what the quote from Buddha had to do with bullying.
Sounds like somebody's too dumb to understand anything about Eastern philosophy.
Hey, don't bully me. Stop bullying me.
Did everyone hear what Rod said about him?
Don't bully me.
Chris bullies Vito.
He does.
Vito, why don't you put out a fucking bully video like that kid? Got to GoFundMe going.
I'll have my mom record it.
Chris also was giggling during that video, and then I shot him a look, so I'm his bully.
No, he was yeah, and that is true.
But that's because he does like a laugh when he's uncomfortable, but it really annoys me. So I shot him a look like an angry mom. Like
I saw him laugh when somebody's had a death in their family.
What?
Yeah,
he's sick.
Look, no, Johnny's laughing at that too.
I was laughing at Chris laughing.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
There was a kid in my neighborhood who got bullied for taking a bus when everybody else walked.
Really?
Every day, all the kids would jump him.
for taking a bus.
He did take a fucking bus. That you
What
can't
kid?
fucking deny. He
When
got
he-
off at a bus stop.
When he got off the bus or before?
No, when he got off the bus, all the kids from my school were waiting for him to fucking go after his busing ass.
Why though?
Like that's the thing, like the stuff that like kids come up with of like the reason why they're bullying.
Dude, I could tell you this guy's first and last name. And I saw him, I was drinking with him in, maybe it was even after high school, because I think I was in a bar. I was either a senior or it was the year later. And we were drinking, we're having a great old time, and he goes like this, hey, why did everybody used to jump me every day after school? And they would. Everybody would like lay in the fucking weeds and shit waiting for him to get off this bus and then chase him home. So he goes like, why did everybody jump me every day? And I go like this, didn't you used to ride a bus though? Like a couple years later, we were all on buses.
Right.
But our elementary school, we used to be able to walk to.
Because they're just like different.
Yeah, it's different.
That's different.
You don't want to, and that was always my mom's thing. She wanted you to get the exact clothes that was in, she would
Right.
say. You're wearing the same sneakers as
You have
everybody else.
As good as everyone else.
She didn't want you to stand out, and she didn't want you to have less than. Just fucking be average was her big.
And even like when I was a kid, I remember like if I was wearing something or my hair was very different, she'd be like, "Are kids wearing that?" Like she wanted to check, like,
just wanted
are you
to
just
see.
like doing something normal or are you doing something weird?
She wanted you to be as odd as your generation,
Right.
but no odder. All right, Johnny.
Bennington's have a
And I've
wonderful
heard you actually bully Johnny Go-Go before.
I have not. He's my boss and he bullies me.
Oh, he's your boss?
Well, you guys claim he is, but he's not really. But he bullies me anyway.
Hey, with Melissa Etheridge stepping down from volume, can we expect the same of Eddie Trump, or is he a white supremacist?
Trump. I like that a lot. I don't think he'll step down. He needs the benefits and all the good stuff that come along with it.
He will never have me on his show. He makes a point of it. I don't know. I asked everybody.
He said he would, but Chris wouldn't return his emails. That's what he told me last time.
Just not true. All right, talk to you later, Johnny.
Chris always gets back to
Peace.
people.
I know.
Johnny just tried to bully
Chris is the best at that. I had to answer stuff for Pit Doc this week because Chris wouldn't answer.
Oh, really?
Pit Doc tried to bring in a lunch the day that Don's taking us out to lunch.
Oh, no.
Somebody ought to bully that fucking Enling. Doesn't even have parents. What's he doing working here? He doesn't even have parents. This is a nice story. Steven Tyler opened up a home for abused girls.
Mm-hmm.
No word whether it was Steven Tyler who abused them, but I'm hopefully not. Charlie Sheen is suing the National Enquirer. He feels he was bullied and is saying that he raped one of the Coreys.
Right. That there was implications, but, you know, I think that they actually named his name as somebody, as a possibility of what Corey had been thinking, but it was never confirmed. So
I don't know why somebody... Yeah, I don't know why his name ever came up as a teen rapist of a
I don't
little
know.
boy.
But I heard people whispering about that, like as though it was him years ago.
They just know that he's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, how seriously do you take the blind items, you know? Because a lot of them are true, but a lot of them are definitely not.
The blind items have always been weird when they would just be like, what Hollywood producer shot himself at the Oscars? There's no way for me to guess. There's no possible way I would be able to say. Is
Guillermo
it Scott
del Toro.
Rudin? Scott Rudin's the producer. Was it him who shot himself down his own leg at the Oscars? I don't know. What's the Golden Globes came out?
Yeah, they did.
They're
I didn't
almost
get
useless.
I didn't get to see the nominees, but they came out this morning.
I know Pamela Adlon got nominated.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad.
But not her show, which is ridiculous. Who knows why? Maybe bullies.
That does sound like bullying to me. I think Big Little Lies.
Big
Is that
Little
this-
Eyes.
Yes.
They're doing a season 2, which sounds ridiculous.
I know.
Sounds like Search Party season
Do you
2.
want to know the weird thing is I had a dream that they were doing a season 2, and then the next morning is when they made that announcement.
Did you sleep with your radio on?
I mean, I don't know why I would dream that.
Could've
And
been
like in
ABC
the dream,
overnight.
it was as simple as, "What is this? Big Little Lies season 2? Oh, that's great! I didn't know they were making season 2." And then the next day, it was true. I wish I had dreamt bigger.
Dreams are so fucking crazy.
They're really weird.
Yeah. Vito, what's your dream? Where do you hope to be in 50 years?
I don't know, but I have a recurring dream where I'll be spinning, like just spinning around in circles, and I can't fucking stop spinning. And it happens once every few months.
You're going to bed drunk.
Yeah, are you hungover
No,
at
I'm
the
not
time?
hungover. I'll have it like on a weeknight.
It's literally called the spins.
In the dream, I'll just be spinning and spinning, and like I'll be freaking out. I'll be like, "Oh no, I can't stop."
Oh wait,
spinning.
hold on. You're spinning like not on something. You're just like on your feet. Just
I'm
going
on
like
my
this.
feet, and my body's going like this. And no matter what I do, I can't stop, and I'm bumping into people, and I'm freaked out about it because I can't stop.
That shit
and
is
I'll wake up in a
hilarious.
panic.
That's the funniest.
This is why people bully.
Mhm.
Because this kid deserves to be bullied right now.
If he had shared that, we all would have bullied him in school.
I would have actually poured milk down his back today, except for I love that Almost Bennington thing that he did.
It was fantastic.
And if you like that video, you can also go buy the Almost Bennington t-shirt on BenningtonShow.com, and you get a free signed Bennington poster when you order it today.
You love that Thanksgiving show, right?
It was so great. But I knew it was going to be a lot of. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a big show, but I had no idea there was going to be a band. I had no idea about
we kept that from
2/3 of
everybody.
those guests. It was great.
Yeah, we kept it from everybody. Now here's the thing, because I've been bullying myself. How can we beat that next Thanksgiving?
You got to get 3 doors down. You got to get some. You got to get the big names.
That's asking a lot.
You got to get maybe. I don't know. You think someone who could really shake things up in the comedy world? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody
who's
doing
by a
comedy?
name.
Huh?
Usually you say, "I don't know," somebody like this. You don't just go, "Yeah, I don't know."
You don't just stop. This is why
I don't
people bullied him. Because he can't fucking play sports.
That
Why
and
don't
the
we do
glasses.
this? You come in, we'll play basketball. How's that sound?
Yeah,
Your own skins.
I
too.
layup contest.
What about this? We just give you a neck tattoo next year. Even though
On
you try
stage?
Yeah, while he's trying to kick and fight his way out of it.
That seems good. I think everyone would enjoy that.
Yeah, could I, suspend it upside down. You got to really make it a show.
Yeah, we're going to make it a big show.
Yeah. We'll get something hanging from those meat hooks just above the crowd.
Turn that shit Jim Rose. I used to have Jim Rose on my show in Florida, and I don't know, you guys are probably too young to remember.
I remember just
but
because he was on the show.
The initial, he did a sideshow thing, but for the Lollapalooza age, and he was on the Lollapalooza, and every time he was in town, he used to stop by, and he would just have a weight attached to his dick.
Mr. Lifto.
That was his name, yeah.
Mr. Lifto, who is...
And then they would put pins in people and shit.
Yeah.
And you can't say that it wasn't a fucking great, entertaining show.
It really was.
And then one day a guy he had a suicide bomb he was just in our show, he took his t-shirt off at the end of it and lit all these firecrackers that blew up on his chest. And you saw, it wasn't a trick, there was red marks all over his chest. But then there was so much smoke, they were worried that the fucking things were going to go off, the sprinklers,
Right.
and destroy our board.
Then they had a sword, this sword swallower who was all tattooed, and he was called Enigma, and he would put not just swords but lots of crazy shit down his throat and swallow weird stuff.
And then here's what he'd do. He would kind of puke it back out.
Right.
They would have a tube that went into his gullet.
Yeah.
He would puke it back out, and then people would drink it from the audience. And again, it's as old as entertainment. I mean, it was great fucking shit. It was really entertaining show.
And I mean, especially acts like the amazing Mr. Lifto, because you're you've taken the freak show to a new level.
Yeah.
You know that this wasn't a typical sideshow kind of thing that you were used to be able to see.
Well, he had modernized it. That's
Right.
all. He modernized it. Mike in Jersey. Mike.
I think the technical term for what Vito is doing in his dreams is called swirling. Swirling and swirling.
Well, I think what veto is, your subconscious is trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
You're mixed up.
You're out of control. Can't stop.
Yeah, because it's bad. And like, I'll be in the dream, I'll be trying to stop, and I'll be bumping into like important people. Like, I've bumped into you guys in a dream.
That is important. Here's what I think is happening. I think you're leading a double life where you're kidnapping and hurting women.
Oh my
And
God,
there's a part of you that's so distraught about that.
That's really upsetting that's what the dream means.
I think I have a medical diagnosis here from the internet. It says spinning signifies confusion. You're feeling out of control.
Dude, if you're gay, we accept you 100%.
Definitely. Are you kidding me?
I don't think that these spinning dreams mean that I'm gay.
I think it might.
But you're confused about something, right?
I guess.
What is it, the English language?
That can get pretty tricky sometimes.
Where to find pants in your size?
Usually the casual male XL.
Nice. All right, so you should at least stop twirling some nights.
You got some stuff together.
Now it's renamed Destination XL.
How quick before you think you can get Vito into a cult? I think it would take you like 45 minutes.
All you need is just like a cool dude who like runs the cult. And he's like, this guy's cool.
That Hillsong thing's looking pretty neat these days.
Oh no, Hillsong's Christian. We're talking straight cult.
Yeah.
The reason they would kick you out because they can't get rice fast enough. You just go through sack of rice. Were you bullied in school?
And anytime I got bullied, like anytime I called fat, I'd get in trouble because I hit back right away.
Good, smart.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in
I
trouble a
respect
lot.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hit because a lot. I got called fat a lot, and I hit back a lot.
Well, that was your wit.
Yeah.
Your wit was a big goddamn forearm across the back of their neck.
Yeah, it was never like a punch or a punch. It's always like a push down or just a big like throwing a limb at
Yeah, I
somebody.
know.
When you're a
I know
kid.
how fat guys fight.
When I was in school, there were two rumors that went around about me simultaneously. One, that I was a lesbian, and two, that I sucked 100 dicks. And I literally had to go, guys, you got to pick one. Am I a lesbian or have I sucked 100 dicks? I'm 12, so which one seems more realistic?
Why can't they both be true? I know that's somebody else that was just like, so her? She sucked 100 dicks.
She sucked 100 dicks. The new girl, she sucked 100 dicks.
And then people just start to repeat it as if it's true. And anytime that you have like close girlfriends, it was always the lesbian thing.
Oh, yeah. It was because I had a best friend
Yeah.
and we were weirder than other kids in our school. And so because of that, we had a small group of friends, but it was like she and I were always palling around together.
Yeah.
And then it was like, they're lesbians. And also that one sucked 100 dicks.
Now, but we would say when I was younger, lesies.
Lesies, yeah.
We never even went to lesbian. I hadn't even heard the term lesbian until I was much older. And it was lesbian. Does that come from lesies?
I also, my best friend, who was the other one who was accused of being lesbian. So we both had lesbian and then one additional one. Mine was the 100 dicks. And hers was that she didn't use deodorant. And she said hers was worse than mine. And I was like, no, it's not, because you could just prove it's wrong. You could just be like, smell me and tell me I don't use deodorant.
You can't
And she's like, no, because hygiene is so much worse, because you seem cool because you sucked 100 dicks. And I was like, it's not cool.
I'm going to agree with her. Because you can't fight off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the hygiene issue in middle school for
'Cause
middle
you can't
school
say,
girls.
come over here and smell my pit.
Right. There was always like mean rumors about girls with hygiene usually involving their period.
Right.
I don't know why. It was just like they would just be like, she does something weird with her period or something. I don't know. She free bleeds, I guess.
So you didn't have to put up as much as you thought, Dan.
See, that's not so bad. No one said he sucked 100 dicks.
But he has.
I'd like to say that when I fought back against a bully in school, they wrote a letter to my mom saying he committed physical assault, and then I had to stay home for a day.
That's nice, man. I liked being suspended. It was fucking great. It's a chance for me to...
I never really got to that point. I got detention a lot, which sucks. But suspension seemed great. I was like, I should have just taken this a step farther.
Yeah, what you don't want is in-school suspension. That's a fucking nightmare.
Fucking
That's
Breakfast
like
Club.
Being put in the cooler.
I had that once because I said fuck at a school dance.
Why'd you say that? Who wants to fuck me?
I went into the DJ booth and just said, who wants to fuck me?
That's
See,
cute.
That's the weird kid. That's fucking dead. Somebody ought to punch him in the back.
First time I ever got suspended, I had seen Rambo 2 days before.
Sweet.
And when we got into the fight, all I was yelling was, "He drew first blood."
You're an idiot.
Yeah, and two dorks over here.
Yeah.
But I was really serious. I was like, I didn't do anything. He drew first blood, man.
Everybody saw Rambo. You just look like a fucking idiot copycat.
It seemed like a really appropriate term for the time.
The name of that movie, Rambo's movie, was First Blood.
You didn't even really need to see it. Just know it exists or see a trailer.
All right, here was a bullying thing that over the weekend, the black dude who exposed the racist first-class passenger. And again, it made me nervous because I don't know if that woman said these things.
Right.
He put a picture of a woman and said that she said she could go in front of him. And then even when he said, I have first class, she said to her husband, then he must be in the military.
This is like a strange assumption.
Yeah.
The only way a black man could have first class is if he's in the military.
Oh, I didn't know you
Thank you for your service.
What branch you in? There's also a great thing up there in the astronauts taking photos of the California wildfires from space.
Oh, yeah, that's just wild.
I saw Jerry Brown, the governor of California, and he blamed this whole thing on global warming. He said, look, we used to have a fire season, and now it's year-round.
Yeah.
He said, get used to the fires. They ain't stopping.
Yeah.
There was also a thing where there was a smoke twister coming out of one of the wildfires.
There was something where somebody had retweeted something that Rupert Murdoch had said a couple years ago where he was being a climate change denier in a tweet. And someone retweeted that old tweet and just wrote, your house is burning.
Did his house catch on fire?
Yes. And it got like 1 million likes.
One of your 8 houses is burning. We got you. All right, Vito, we need to take a break here, right?
Yes, we do.
What time is our guest stopping by? I don't have it in front of me.
2 p.m.
Okay, so want to do it now and then again when before he gets here?
That's perfect.
All right. Dan Ban is sitting in with us because Chris had to go record some people who are going to be part of Don Rickles' A Life in Comedy. And apparently he got, what are you looking for, Dan to hand that? Why didn't they put you on the other board where you didn't have to be in here?
I know.
That would have been more comfortable for
I'm
you,
up
right?
to the challenge. I just wasn't sure if I should leave my headphones on, and I would I would have a moment like, yeah.
You do whatever you need.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah. The one thing I never got the chance to talk to you about, though, was Dish. All right? So, Dan, don't you wish that you could watch your favorite primetime TV shows without commercial interruptions? Dish has got you covered. Now with the auto hop from Dish, you can watch shows recorded with primetime anytime, commercial free.
Watch the most popular shows on your favorite networks without wasting time sitting through commercials. This season finale of your favorite show just got better with Auto Hop from Dish.
No more waiting through long TV commercial breaks. Just get back to enjoying the action because only Dish is tuned into you. To learn more, call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Go to dish.com or visit a local retailer near you.
Requires credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Taxes and surcharges not included. Other restrictions apply. For full details, 1-844-CALL-DISH. Dish, tuned into you. Coming in hot.
You just had a very exciting bathroom experience.
I did. Isabella Rossellini. We were washing hands right next to each other. And then I held the door for her.
And we didn't bring this in as Gail and I came walking up today. Jodie Foster.
Yes.
Stunning in real life.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Perfect skin.
I know. Her hair looks great.
I know. Vito, you doing the booking for us?
Yes, I'm a part of the booking.
part of the booking.
Well, yes, I'm doing the booking for you guys.
What do you mean? You said part of. You giving it to your mom?
No,
to do?
no, I'm not giving it to my mom. I meant just,
Better not.
I don't know why I said part of.
Don't you think Jodie Foster should have been one with us?
I do think so, and I'm still trying to find. I did not see her on the list for today, so I'm trying to find out.
That list is for losers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the loser list.
They call that the veto list, and they just send that to you. But then there's another list.
I gotta get the cool list.
You gotta up your social game, or you're going to be off booking, and you'll just be on editing. You did a great job on that.
You did crush it.
He edited it together, and this is being tweeted out, us doing a scene, and it's lip synced perfectly from the movie Almost Famous. But if you order your Almost Bennington t-shirt today, you get a signed Thanksgiving poster, which I'm now being called a collectible.
Oh, nice.
By people who collect posters from us. I used to work at the Franklin Mint, and they would just make up things and call them collectibles all the time. And now get this collectible presidential teacup.
Oh, yeah. Like, they still, I don't know if they still do, but it seemed like even up until recently, they would be like, this like presidential commemorative plate. And they're like, this is a rare item. It's like, well, because you didn't make enough and no one's buying them. That's why you're making a commercial. Like if people needed them, you wouldn't have a commercial.
You can't make something new and call it rare, can you? I guess you can if you only make like 7 cars, but their value gains as time goes on.
But then on top of that, if you made a commercial for those 7 cars,
right.
It would be weird.
I've only made 7 banana Coca-Colas. 7.
Oh my God.
Sounds like a fucking delicious drink.
I really want that, actually. I'm one of the few people I don't mind fake banana flavor. I'll say it. I know some people find it really disgusting.
I don't know anybody did. I thought people liked it.
Some people find it really, really disgusting.
Any banana flavored candy? Give it to me.
Also, I know a lot of people who don't like coconut flavored anything because it tastes like suntan lotion, and that's why I like it. Like, I actually enjoy that it tastes like suntan lotion.
By the way, Keith Robinson said this the other night. The reason why he calls something soft candy, remember I tell you, that he said when he was bullied, kid took his soft candy and a quarter from him every week. He said that kids in his neighborhood would take hard candy and keep them on the radio until they softened.
Interesting. So it would make like a more jelly consistency?
Yeah, make it a nice chewy treat for everybody.
I'm fascinated.
Me
That's
too.
what soft candy is?
That's what, according to him, even though some people call it something else. And then I told you this, right? He says he's not interested in girls. He wants women. He goes, I want women with butterscotch in her pocketbook. That's the funniest shit in the world to me. He's doing a special this year, and Kevin Hart producing.
Nice. Very, very cool.
Oh, I wanted to promote this. I'm going to be hosting New Year's at the Stand. I forgot to promote this.
Very cool.
New Year's Eve at the Stand. And I'm going to tell you the people that I'm talking to right now. Jim Florentine, Joe DeRosa, Laurie Kilmartin, Ida Rodriguez, and Pete Lee.
Oh, that's going to be so fun.
I call that a woke show. I got every, you know what I mean?
So many.
40% women. The other night, I did a show with 4 black people and Ari Shafir. And you just never see that in a club.
Right.
And Ari closed the show. So we went 4 straight black acts in a row. And then I go up and I go, if you're anything like me, you've seen quite enough black people for one night. I go, in my day, 1 per show. And that's it.
No trans on the bill?
That is sexist, my friend, because I'm not going to ask any of those people if they are trans.
They may or may not be.
Yamanika, I could say, look, Ed Trunk just walks by without even saying hi.
Oh.
Isabella Rossellini gave a big wave.
I know, she did. She was so.
Jodie Foster said to me, I love what you're doing for the trans community.
She did.
And Disco Dan, shut up, she said. Shut up. Is that Chris back now?
No, not yet.
How long has he been gone?
12:45, so 45 minutes.
Okay, let me just explain something. There's no way I'm putting this guest on for 45
The
minutes.
special's an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour special. It can't be 45 minutes of a child actor.
He is the special. Just cut everything else.
Why don't we just do a salute to that dude then?
I think Chris is doing it unmasked right now.
I'm Chris Stanley, and when you're listening to Stanley Steamer, today we're steaming up some real conversation. I hate anybody with two first names. I got news for you. I said that to Pete Lee the other night.
Pete, I just don't trust you. That's what they say, too. Untrustworthy. With a double first name.
So, yeah, New Year's Eve at the stand. There's going to be, shows that run all night, but I'm doing the 8 and 10, I guess, is what I'm doing. So I'll bring in the New Year with you. I'm the person who goes 10, 9, 8. Last year I did it with Artie.
I know, that's so fun.
Did you see the picture of Artie over the weekend?
I didn't.
No, I got to get to the bottom of this to see if he's doing Ant Show today. It looked like somebody had bashed him. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Oh my gosh.
His nose was as big as Vito's fucking chin. Enormous.
That's huge.
You don't have to look on the iBank for. You don't have to go running around looking for stuff, Dan. I'm
that's
just glad
Chris's
you're not.
job.
I'm just glad that your gossiping days are behind you.
Yeah, that's part of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm, I'm as sealed like a locket.
Okay, sealed like a locket. Why don't you start and call yourself Dan Band? Why can't that get around for you?
Dan Band?
Yeah,
Like
you're
the Dan
familiar with, familiar with
One
the
Dan Band.
Well, no, that's not it. The Dan Band, the guy who's in movies.
You know the Dan Band.
I don't want a Dan Ban. I want to stay around.
It's banned.
It's banned.
It's literally banned.
Band
Yes.
together.
It was so annoying. I want to bully you.
Yeah, this is exactly why.
This is why some kids get hit.
It happens
you're,
sometimes.
so you're saying it was because of my actions and not
Oh
my
yes,
looks.
you're annoying. Your looks are fine.
Yeah, I think
you get a lot of
great.
ladies.
Do I get a lot of ladies?
Yeah.
No, I not a lot of ladies these days.
Really?
Any days? Did you have a period where things were hot for you?
Yeah, a couple of years, like college and some of high school. Yeah.
Yeah, good. But it all dried up, huh?
Yeah. Now, I'm too focused on my career.
Jeez, take your focus off. You're going as high as you can with your career. There's no sense of you having goals.
This is a plateau for you right now.
I think Dan could be an actor, though.
I do too.
He has a certain sensibility.
Like a character actor?
No, like a leading man in a rom-com. Yes, a character actor. You're going to be stuck being a character actor.
Look, most of us are character actors.
Yes. It's a world of character actors. Well, look at it. He's carrying 3 discs with him. That's how much he recorded.
There he comes.
Let him, let him sit in. What the fuck was that, Chris?
Had to take care of something, but then it didn't work out, despite going over and over again with the people who were helping me.
You're kidding me. So you recorded nothing?
Nothing. But I'm getting ignored, though. That's fun.
By who?
The person that should be helping me.
Helping you or the person who's doing it?
It could be both, but the person who's helping, the person who's supposed to do it, nothing. And then the person who's supposed to help, nothing as well. I'm trying to figure it. That's what it took a little while, so I was trying to figure it all
Different
out.
coast, though, right? Is there
Different
any
coast, yeah.
confusion with the time?
There was confusion about something before that they helped with, and I made sure to say, is it West Coast or East Coast? And I was assured this was the East Coast time to do it.
Mm-hmm. So you seem like you're happy with everything.
I'm not happy with anything at all. I was running around like a goddamn moron for 45 minutes.
Well, I have to say, I'm happy to be here. So it wasn't a huge loss.
You know what? You're right. You fucking were so much better on this show than Chris ever.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he brought some really interesting stuff up about bullying. I feel you wouldn't have been able to.
Did I tell you about New Year's Eve?
No.
At the stand? I'm going to be hosting. Listen to the crew.
Uh-oh.
I consider Laurie Kilmartin to be one of the voices of her generation.
I agree.
Ida Rodriguez, love. Jim Florentine, Joe DeRosa, two stunning comedians, and Pete Lee, who got a standing ovation at Tonight Show.
Holy shit.
All ringing in the new year at the Stand. You're more than invited to come with us. We're going to go like this. 10, 9, 8, 7. That's all they get, guys. I'm not going to tell them the rest of it. You know
No
what I mean?
spoilers.
Do you want the rest? You come with us. It might even be a great year to bring your Bennington T-shirt.
Oh,
which I'd be happy to sign.
Mm-hmm.
Not on your breast.
No, inappropriate.
Mm-hmm. Because what is happening right now? I'm trying to get on the Chew, replacing Mario Batali. Mario Batali. I think it was a waitress or a hostess.
Mm-hmm.
He took 2 little Swedish meatballs. He put them up to her tits and went like this. These look like your nipples.
Okay, so now it makes sense then. Because you can't do that to your coworkers.
Then he takes out his penis and goes like this. Who wants some stromboli? Ah!
I didn't know we could go to HR for that. Otherwise, I would have a long time ago.
Pufnstuf. Who's your friends when things get rough? HR
Pufnstuf.
Can't do a little, but you can't do enough. But Pufnstuf was watching too and knew what to do. That was a great fucking actor. HR Pufnstuf. I'll tell you who I hated on that show.
Who?
Witchy Poo.
You did?
Cack Blacker of Fun.
Now, is HR like a monster or like the person? Because there was like a boy on the show, right?
Well, the boy was, he was a little English guy. Was it Jack Wilde? Was that his name? Or something like that? He had a, and he was like, hello, Pufnstuf.
Yeah.
You're a good boy, Pufnstuf. See what his name was on the show. And Pufnstuf, he was like the mayor of Puff Village or some shit. I mean, he was just a very nice fucking big stuffed animal.
Yeah. He's like a big old Muppet type.
Jimmy was the boy's name.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Played by Jack Wilde.
Thank you. So I said Jack Wilde, right?
Yeah.
But you had to fucking turn it around and be like, it's Jimmy. And then he had a flute that was nice to him. He had a magical fucking flute that was his friend.
It talked to him?
It talked to everybody.
And Witchy Poo was like not nice, or
No,
she was?
she wasn't nice, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Fucking amazing body.
I really like Witchy Poo. Like, she's just cool looking.
Great fucking body.
I never really noticed.
Yeah. Put up Witchy Poo. Just leave it at that. I remember there was a certain episode that I'm like, that Witchy Poo is a real fucking looker, I said. I turn around to my imaginary friend. I go, yeah, no, just get an image. We can't follow along like that. Just like a Google image, Witchy Poo. Now we're talking, right?
Yeah, you could see that she's attractive under there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice body.
Oh, yeah, really,
The
right?
bod?
Yeah. Seems like full bod. Or, see, just put Witchy Poo partially nude. It's because we don't want any trouble at work.
No.
Partially.
I mean, you can see that she had a glam rock bod.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
she does.
She could have fucking sang with T-Rex if she wanted to. Wake up that fucking muffin head of yours in there,
Hey,
Chris.
Muffin Head, wake the
By the
fuck
way,
up.
so Jen doesn't show up because somebody blew up in the train station.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You run off for no apparent reason in the middle of the show.
45 minutes.
45 minutes of weed smoking.
I wasn't.
Dan Ban has been unbelievable fucking 6-man off the bench, just draining threes. And Vito gets a pass because he worked all weekend and made a really great Almost Bennington shirt.
I wasn't burning one down out back. I was attempting to work for 45 minutes, but I was getting cock blocked left and right.
Did you make an apple into a bong and smoke out of it?
No, I didn't. No. I don't even have any bud on me.
A couple of people are saying that I'm sick for enjoying Witchy Poo's body. I just said it was a nice body.
They're the sick ones.
Isabella Rossellini just walked by.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah. She's been with some of the most famous men of her generation, including Mr. Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, she was. And now we've washed hands next to each other. and smiled as we washed.
She loves animals. She does. Fucking insects, everything. She trains CNI dogs in the city.
Does she really?
Yeah, and just in her spare time. She
That's
loves
really cool.
it. Yeah, she came in. She told me about it before. What was her mom? Her mom was famous.
She was also an actress?
Yeah, big actress of her day. Hold on, Dan will get to it. He doesn't.
Ingrid Bergman.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And then her dad was, Rossellini was an Italian film director. My dad shot, his own home movies pretty well, too.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good. Today, if you order your Almost Bennington shirt, you get a signed collectible poster from Thanksgiving. Vito, how do we get this?
You go to BenningtonShow.com or the iBankShop.com to go get your Almost Bennington t-shirt and free Bennington signed poster.
Are you signing it?
We all are signing it.
I just asked if you were.
I will be signing
You
it.
actually figure yourself as one of us now.
Mhm.
You
Thought
feel
I
like
was
you've been
one.
here long enough for that.
Felt like I belonged.
Look, when you and Chris are together, standing next to each other, it's fucking scary.
That's weird.
How so?
You look exactly the same.
You do. It's really, really disturbing. The only way you can tell the difference is one beard is patchier than the other, but that's it.
Who's this patch here?
Yours, Chris, and you know it.
Okay.
You know you have a patchy beard.
Kevin in South Carolina.
Hey, man.
Hey.
I don't know. Back in the early 70s, Sid and Marty Krofft, who did HR Pufnstuf, had an indoor theme park in Atlanta. And it took a few years for me to realize after wandering that thing that basically what you were going through was an acid trip.
Well, all their shows were watched by fucking late 60s hippies doing acid. I had them on my show when I was at WNEW. I had a short-term intern who became a producer, probably with me like 6 or 8 months there.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody just wanted me to give him a recommendation. I'm like, he was a kid. I don't know what he's done in the last 17 years. I'm sure, All right, let's see what shows Sid and Marty did and see if you guys have any remembrance of this at all. But they were all trippy. Yeah. Well, just give me a rundown of what they got famous for.
All right, we got Mutt and Stuff.
Don't remember it.
Mm-mm.
Electra Woman and Dinah Girl.
That I do remember.
A Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell.
All right, let's go from let's go there, IMDb, working our way up. Well, because they did the original Land of the Lost.
Right.
And
that I have seen.
Yeah. All right, what do you got, Chris?
All right, so it was HR Pufnstuf was first.
What year?
1969.
Okay.
And then Land of the Lost. That was 73. The same year, Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Lidsville.
Oh, those were just talking hats. They were really fucking trippy.
The Boogaloos?
The Boogaloos, yeah, they were big.
Then Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. The Krofft Super Show?
The Krofft Super Show were hosted by what looked like a glam band. The guy actually had a star, like he was ripping off Kiss. See if you can just find images from Krofft Super Show.
And in Krofft Super Show, there was Magic Mongo and Dr. Shrinker?
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Good shit, yeah.
Then The Lost Saucer. That was in 75.
I got news for you. I don't remember Lost Saucer.
Far Out Space Nuts in 1975.
That one was
Sounds cool.
Yeah. See if you can find like the opening to what was a Krofft Super Show. So you can see them jumping on the glam explosion.
It's pretty smart of them to jump in on that. Wonder Bug in 1976.
That was gigantic. Yeah, give us a little bit of this opening. See the glam?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Volume it. Oh, man, he's really struggling with the board.
We will lead you to a land of dreams. Broadcast some super shows. They will blow your mind away.
Little kids.
You join us, you'll know why we say it's just a crazy world where anything
Anything goes down.
Anything goes down here, man.
You like to be downtown.
Super Show.
Super Show.
This sounds
Dude, that
fucking
was awesome.
amazing.
Huh?
Sounds fucking amazing, this show.
Yeah.
Captain Cool.
Look.
The Kongs. Super Chick. Turkey.
And that guy there too, he was also doing like stuff like Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley.
The howdiest show on earth. Super Shows. Starring Wonderbug.
Wonderbug was gigantic.
Everyone else left town when flying saucers and strange creatures were first sighted.
I don't believe it. The kids encounter a man in trouble and face some pretty scary creatures from outer space. Gordy, BJ, look what I found. It's a gold coin.
Kids are shrunk.
15th century Spanish doubloon. On Dr. Shrinker, Brad finds
Dr.
a Spanish
Shrinker.
doubloon. And the Shrinkies soon find that Hugo and the Doctor aren't their only enemies. Miracle immobilizer.
So bizarre.
Funny. I felt strange driving an electric car before. But now that you're driving, I still feel...
Yes. Electro Woman and Dyna Girl face the mistress of disguise and cunning, Spider Lady.
Electro Woman!
Stay tuned. Baby, what gives? I gotta know. I've never been down so low. Don't take the lights out of my life.
Kids. Yeah, this is for little kids. It's a Saturday morning show. Elton John glasses.
Baby, what gives? I gotta know.
So they're rocking. I guess the hope was they become the Monkees after that.
Right. This is so funny that this is for kids.
Yeah. We've always treated kids like kids were tripping.
Kids like weird shit.
It's a crazy world. Anything can go down.
Yeah, that's
Anything
true,
could
man.
go down.
That's why I want to be downtown. You know, where all
Tell
the
the
gay
kids,
people are.
I want to be downtown. You know what I mean?
I want to be in the East Village. You know, I don't want to hang around uptown with those squares. All right, I just got a message. You need to go back there. You've got it all lined up.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Who's sending you the wrong way, Don?
I don't know anymore. It's like I think it might be a time mix-up again.
What's Vito up to now?
Vito's on it.
Is he?
Yeah.
They even have it to lose, man. Things are a lot better when you're
Applejack.
running things. Just go down.
Don't worry, I'm available 7 days a week.
I'd love to start and have him in weekly. And when I say weekly, I mean WEAKLY. What shows are you running right now?
I work on Craig Ferguson's show.
How's Craig doing?
He's good.
Yeah.
He just put out a special last week on Netflix.
What's it called?
Tickle Fight.
All right. It might not be the best timing for that right now.
Yeah.
Should you add consensual?
Yeah,
consensual tickle fight.
Yeah, I'll make that note. I know all of the honchos at Netflix, and I have that kind of power.
Who do you know in the business? If you had to reach out to somebody in the business, okay? When I'm talking about the business, I mean the industry. Who would you go to?
I got Birbiglia's email. I edited his new podcast that he did. He ran it here first, so
Yeah.
I have his email.
All right, so Birbiglia.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Who else?
And you feel like you and him are buddies?
Yeah, we talked. We talked.
Mm-hmm.
We're friends. We're good friends.
You think you could get Chris in his new movie?
Yeah. How big a role?
I mean, definitely not a day player. I want him.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we definitely want
I
him
want it to be a
speaking.
juicy part. You know, something
Like-
that he could steal.
Like Chris Gethard's role in Don't Think Twice. I think we get you something like
Oh,
that.
that'd be
Supporting.
great. 'Cause that really helped Gethard out a lot.
I would love to get a supporting role in this.
Gethard told me that he got a lot of heat off that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He had a big year.
You kidding me?
Are they bringing him back next year?
Believe.
Let me just take the magic 8 ball. Okay. All signs point to yes.
Woo!
That's according to the magic 8 ball. Any other big emails you have?
I had to contact a bunch of comics because we were running this, turn on the radio if you're not subscribed in your car promotion. So I got a bunch of comics to tweet about it. So I got Goldman to tweet about it.
That's a huge one.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Are you saying Gary Goldman?
Gary, yep.
Okay, good.
Not his brother Larry.
Larry Goldman is an asshole.
You had him in here?
Larry?
Yeah.
Terrible. Short, angry young man.
I was just thinking about Gary Goldman today because I heard my neighbor outside and he was talking to someone named Gary and he was like, Gar. And, he says that's how his brothers, like his family say his name, Gar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you had something else you wanted to push, right? Something that was on your mind today? It was driving you a little crazy, you said?
It's just making me feel crazy.
So he asked me if he could have a couple seconds to talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Once you get done booking all your big specialty shows.
Getting fucked in the ass, Ron. That's what happened.
Oh, boy.
He wants me to come back after winter break to do the voiceover on this. That's where his head is with me.
What?
Yet he can't even get the coast right now. All right? When I say the coast, I mean, West Coast. Who you text him with?
The people are finally getting back to me about what just happened a half hour ago.
Okay. But what was it you wanted to talk about?
Oh, were you playing HQ Trivia last night for the 10 Gs?
Not only did I play it, I got to question 10.
Woo!
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
I got to 7. I thought I was a big boss around here.
Now, I was not able, my first attempt, I was not able to get in.
Yeah, I think it was up to 400,000 people
So
last
it's
night.
I have
totally
trouble with
flooded.
the sound sometimes.
Yeah, it'll drop out every once in a while.
No, I mean, I don't get sound at all. But then if I put in my headphone jack, I can listen to it.
Oh, that's really weird.
I know. It's fucking Black Mirror. Then after we called it the Black Mirror, the first day me and Chris played it, they called it, he goes, isn't this like Black Mirror the other night?
Yeah.
And then me and Vito were watching it, and somebody, in text chat was just texting Bennington over and over. Which, if you play HQ, just keep texting Bennington because we love that.
I know, because we're all there. We're
Yeah.
all playing. We can see it.
Feels good.
I didn't get in, but then they did a bonus round right afterwards, like about an hour later, half hour later. So I got into that one.
By the way, on Friday they asked what is the interrobang. So you had to come up with that thing. That
Yeah.
So we were like, what? Give me a what?
What?
It's colliding.
I got news for you. It's very exciting when you see, like last night, there was a certain point where I knew 250,000 people dropped out, and I'm still in it.
Yeah.
I was ecstatic.
It is very exciting.
You play every night?
No, I don't play.
Do
You gotta
have
jump
friends
in.
that do?
What
It's called HQ.
It's like a trivia game?
Yeah, but it's an app.
It's the trivia game, man.
That's all that matters.
So if you get in, you're like playing against everybody?
Yes. And it's live. So the host is asking everybody the questions. Then it pops up. You have multiple choice. You have only, how many seconds? 10 seconds, 12 seconds, something like that?
It's 10 seconds from the time he starts talking.
Yeah, so you only have like 3 seconds. So people who try to
Right.
just do a search, hurry up and search.
Right. You
they
can't.
get burned.
It's too fast to even Google it. So.
The guy who does it is a guy that Gurian's known for a while, and he writes about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a newer comic, and I think he writes for. I don't know what he writes for. One of those funny things.
Mhm.
I can't think of it right now. Oh, I guess he writes for The Onion.
But this was like one of those things where it's like one of those like weird sensations where like you didn't know it existed, then all of a sudden people are talking about
Everybody
it.
knows.
Like I love how that happens. where you're like, oh, this is a weird thing. It's just, it wasn't a thing, and now everybody knows about it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love how that goes down.
It's very, it's just very surreal.
Record a number of shirts going out today because you get a free signed poster.
Nice.
With them. Free signed poster. People writing in, can I just get the poster? Let's wait until the shirt deal's over because I can't say for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause I
we gotta
can't.
see.
I can't make that statement. You get a free poster
I
with a
know.
shirt.
The 8-ball only works on some things.
That's true. For me, the 8-ball always works for everything. Mhm. That's an 8th ounce, Chris. Look, I see him texting away.
I know. All he's doing is sexting.
I'm not sexting
Send
anyone.
Send a dick pic, if you will.
Yeah, that'll
Here's
teach
the
him.
weird thing from fucking Chris when you get a dick pic from him. He shoots from underneath. So you see the undercarriage of his balls.
I feel like my taint looks kind of good.
How much dick are you seeing then?
Very little. It's just a chode.
He's seeing girth for sure.
There's just a chode there, so I want to give more. You know,
The short and real thick chode bum bum that Chris keeps in his shorts. Dun, dun, dun. This could be on the Beatles channel.
Come on.
Tell the Beatles channel. See if you can get me on the Beatles channel. And I don't want to just do, here's my Fab Four. You know what I mean? I want to be like Billy Joel, who's singing along but doesn't know all the lyrics. He was doing Magical Mystery Tour the other day.
Oh,
when
really?
I was listening. I'm like, that's a fucking better album than I ever gave it credit for.
Yeah, I feel like that's not one I revisit.
All right, look up Magical Mystery Tour. Read us the track listing. Dan Band's doing an amazing job right now. And I know the long and the short and real thick chode is not on it. All right, let's go through Magical Mystery Tour.
All right, number 1, Magical Mystery Tour.
Mm-hmm.
The Magical Mystery Tour.
The Fool on the Hill, number 2.
Day after day.
Flying, number 3.
Great song. I can't sing it off the top.
Blue Jay Way.
There's a fog upon L.A.
Your Mother Should Know.
Oh, okay.
I Am the Walrus. Come on.
That's a great fucking song. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says.
And then we got side 2. I would say this is probably more the hits. Hello, Goodbye. Strawberry
Classic.
Fields Forever.
Classic.
Penny Lane.
Classic.
Baby, You're a Rich Man.
That song is really fucking
Yeah.
good.
And finally, All You Need Is Love.
It's
mean,
funny. I
that's
like to really
fucking-
never listen to that as an album.
Me neither.
normally.
Play Flying so I can get refamiliarized with it because I'm going to tell you the truth. Off the top of my head, the title doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I wouldn't consider a radio hit. Do you got it, Chris? Are you just fucking sitting there? Oh, you need to do it over
I
here?
got it.
I thought.
All right. I thought maybe Chris could do something now that he came
I
back.
don't know.
All right, let me take a listen.
Could be why it doesn't give radio play. Too long.
I think he found a weird version of it, though. And Chris isn't even into this at all today. I know.
I'm very into it.
Are you really, Chris?
I just got a deluge of texts.
Deluge.
Deluge. Who the fuck are you, Jackson Brown? All of a sudden. All right,
wish.
are we after the deluge? Is that where we are?
Right now, we're after the deluge.
So what happened? You got your guest back again?
Maybe tomorrow.
Man, they know a real fucking chump.
And then I heard
They know
maybe
it jumped and they know it
maybe-
showed. Oh, you probably sent them the dick pic, and that's why they're not taking you seriously.
Yeah. Just right back. Hey, it's me, the chump with the chode.
It's Chodsky here. Go get that phoner.
Then you don't have chump in it at all.
Chump Chodsky, that's the name.
Okay. Not a bad name. I got to take a break, right? We got a guest coming up in a minute.
Yes, we do.
Well, you know what? Should it be a mystery guest?
I say be a mystery guest.
Because it's one of, I consider, the greatest game shows in the history of the world. And it is back. We'll be right back to talk about it. Bennington. Now what? It's the Bennington Show. Now, Cash Cab is airing Sundays at 10 o'clock on the Discovery Channel. Ben Bailey's with us. Ben is a great comedian. He's going to be performing at Caroline's Comedy Club December 14th through the 16th. Carolines.com for tickets. Great to see you, Ben Bailey.
You too, man. Thanks for that. Thanks for the intro and the,
well,
and the stand-up hype.
By the way,
Appreciate it.
well, you know when I see you at the stand, I get the place to go crazy by the time you come walking out.
Those intros are incredible. I was like, are we going to talk about those intros?
Ben doesn't understand how much people love him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
People go crazy for Cash Cab.
They do go crazy for Cash Cab.
It's such a great show.
But you're right. I don't feel,
You play it down.
I feel silly. Those intros are, I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I can't follow this.
They'll
some
go-
of them you overdo it, right?
Yeah.
Just to like.
No, I like to get the room pumped up anyway.
He's like coming to the stage.
No, what I'll do is I'll talk about, my favorite show of all time, Cash Cab, blah, blah, blah. I get into it. And then people were just like talking Cash Cab. And then I go, we got the host.
It starts to build it up.
Yeah, I start to build up. And then they go crazy
And
by
then
the
I'm like,
time.
I just want to try out a couple of new jokes. I can't live up to this intro.
But people love
It's a
you,
great
man.
intro, dude. It really
People love you. And Cash Cab is back, even though a lot of people don't know that you didn't record for a while because it's on
Yeah, because there's
TV.
some reruns for a while. Yeah.
But you guys
For
are
the whole
doing.
time, really.
I saw the thing where Susie Essman's going to do some stuff with you. Jeff Garland, Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
How did that all come about? How did that?
They just decided to bring the show back, and they were like, what else can we do to make it, super fun, extra fun, and exciting and cool? And they were like, celebrity guests.
Well, I know a lot of times when you would do a show, they would say, just put us in the Cash Cab, whatever you're doing, whether it was New York One,
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Today's
everybody.
Show,
Yeah.
everybody, the View girls, they all wanted to be in the Cash Cab.
They were like, if we could just get the cab without Ben,
Yeah.
that'd be great for the interview.
I think very few people could pull off what you do.
It's not an easy gig, man.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to host a show or drive a car
Right.
instead of doing both of them at the same time.
I'm pretty
It's a lot of
lousy at
work.
both.
Yeah. Well, you've got cameras all over the car. You have to know what camera even to make your little snide eye
My
contact.
silly little faces.
Yeah.
Like, do you believe these idiots?
Yeah.
Just very subtly saying, how did they get in here?
Yeah. But people do love trivia. We were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
There's this thing HQ now on your phone. Have you seen it yet?
No, what's that?
You just
Headquarters?
Yeah. All of a sudden, everybody plays a trivia game at the same time.
So it's an app
Yeah.
that
I
you
heard about this.
download.
Yes,
So
but
there's-
you're competing with everybody who's on.
You're last night I was playing against 400,000 people.
Holy.
Now I
Can we
dumped
swear
out
on
of like
this? Holy shit.
I beat 270,000 of them and felt
pretty
good
good.
about myself, but still,
You beat 270,000 people.
yeah. But that
That's the
doesn't mean
entire
shit.
population of
There's-
Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, they bring up what it was bigger than Tulsa last night. More people were playing that game than live in Tulsa. Isn't that crazy?
That's really wild.
I love those kind of stats about
But
anything.
that your show has that perfect feeling too of when you're watching at home, you're smarter than the idiots in the back of the Cash Cab every time. Now you don't have the pressure that they have though.
Yeah, that's true. And it's
Yeah.
easy when you're watching a show, once you hear the answer, to be like, yep, knew that one.
No, it.
Yeah.
After
had
you
it.
hear it, right
Yeah,
after you
they
hear
know,
it,
totally.
a quarter of a second, you're like, yep, had that one. I'm good for that. Wow, I've gotten all of these so far. Meanwhile, you haven't actually said the answer out loud to any of them when you're at home. That's what I do.
I will. Well, I'll play the first round of Jeopardy, and then I go, "This is stupid."
It's like a crossword.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The second round, I come on, I'm
Thursday,
an
like, this is
idiot.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Just forget it.
No one could do this. But me and my friends in college, we used to watch Cash Cab, and we would all play together.
Right.
And we would be like, if we could just get in the Cash Cab,
Right.
we'd be splitting the money.
Mm-hmm.
But we felt like with all of our areas of expertise,
Yeah,
we could do
teams
very
are
well.
good. Teams are good that way.
Yeah.
A
Now-
family's good.
Yeah.
A
Because
family's
the
good.
parents and the kids know different things. You know?
Yeah, that makes
Now
sense.
this is something that bugs me about the show when people won't take the video challenge at the
Oh,
end.
they don't go for it?
Yeah.
I get crazy. I'm like, dude, just you're on TV. go for this.
Go for it.
It's not like you're
$200. There's
Right.
4 of you.
Yes, it's not like if we don't get this money, you're still on TV. Most people would pay that much money just to be on television.
Yeah.
You can have your family look like a baller.
Sometimes, though, I can't believe they do go for it. Like, if they just barely make it, they have 2 strikes, and it's like, you guys, I don't know how you got here.
But here's the
they're
thing.
like, let's go for it.
Right, let it roll,
No,
though.
you're just
I
gonna
feel the
lose
same,
it.
but I feel the same way if I flew all the way to Vegas. I'd
Right.
rather leave with all the money or no money at all. Not a
none.
little bit of money.
Lose it all
Yeah.
or keep it all.
What am I
like
going to
that.
do with $240 anyway? Let's go. Let's put
Get a
this down.
coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah. Now, I when this show first started, I started to look right away for the cash cab on the street, right away, and then I went out to lunch one day, and we're at the Burger Heaven.
That's right.
And I walk up and I see Ben, right, and I'm like, "Cash cab!" I just yell at him, right?
We're having lunch at Burger Heaven upstairs.
And that thing had only been on for like a few weeks at the time. So all of a sudden, everybody else that's eating turns around and they all yell, "We're cash!" I didn't know how big the crew was. In my head, it was just Ben
was the
driving
whole
around by
upstairs.
himself.
Yeah, there
So
was-
the whole crew was eating in there, and they were all glad to hear good people are
they
seeing
were-
this show.
We were excited.
It was a very exciting, like, normally you don't see a famous person and have everybody start jumping around
Yay!
you. This is working! I told you my neighbor watches.
We did it, man.
We've
done it.
But now with the celebrities, what happened? The celebrities are playing with them? Or what
Yeah,
are they
like
doing?
jump in and surprise them.
Yeah.
So they
and
get hit double, like the first surprise, hey, you're in the cash cab, and
And
then
then
like a second later,
a celebrity.
hi, I'm Matthew Perry.
Wow.
You mind if I share this cab with you?
Dude, this is now
Their
the-
heads are like
This is
exploding.
very
It's pretty
exciting.
crazy.
And then he helps from that
And he
point
helps, yeah. I think he was actually helpful. Not all of them were helpful. Gilbert Gottfried was not helpful.
on. Well, Gilbert doesn't
But
want
he was
people
hilarious.
to win. Yeah.
He was so funny through the whole thing,
See, but that
he
would be
knew
worth
none of
it.
the answers.
Gilbert, if you asked him 1940s movie trivia, he'd be all over it.
Oh, really? He likes the old
gets
movies, huh?
obsessed with old Hollywood.
Oh, that's
He has a podcast that he just brings on the oldest people you've ever seen and goes so deep with them. And
I feel
swear,
better that he's never had me on now.
3 weeks later, they die. All his guests
You have
die.
to be near death
He
to
always
get on
gets the
Gilbert's
last interview.
podcast.
Yeah.
He's done
Moments-
the last interview with everyone.
Moments to Live with Gilbert Gottfried.
And he'll be like, "And you used to date Hedy Lamar." He's obsessed with, even like, if you notice Gilbert when he does impressions, none of them are new. They're always old movie stars.
Does he do improv? I don't think I ever heard him.
Yeah,
do,
he does.
They all just sound just like him, but
Yeah.
they say different words.
Well, he does Tony Curtis with the guy from Mary Tyler Moore Show, but it's the same. I'm gonna get a donut. You want a donut? Yeah, I'll have a donut. Because he's saying that they have the same exact voice.
Those are pretty old references.
Yeah,
for
they're-
sure.
the kids aren't sitting around waiting for a new Tony
What was
Curtis
the first
impression.
Tony Curtis? I'm like, I don't even remember what Tony Curtis sounds like.
Now, have you seen his new documentary? It's
Gilbert? Or
Yeah,
Tony Curtis has a
no,
new documentary?
I would love to see Tony's.
No, I haven't seen it, but he
Yeah.
was telling me about it.
It's
called Gilbert, right?
Yeah, he let a guy follow him around for a while, and you see Gilbert has not only a loving wife, but beautiful, sweet children.
Wow.
No one knew anything about Gilbert all these years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of a loner. He didn't. He went
Everybody
home
thought
and was
that.
by himself.
There's always people that I don't know where they go. Dave Attell is like that. I don't know.
He's just like a mystery. He's like
He
kind
has
of
a
like
secret-
Batman or something.
It's a secret array of tunnels in the subway system.
Yes, it's a
He
secret
steps
lair
in, like, goes
that he
into
has.
the wall,
Yeah.
like Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even picture Attell, I don't know, making travel plans would seem odd to me, whatever he's doing.
Mhm.
Like, does Attell have a dream vacation? I don't know. And Judah
It's a
Freelander's
mystery.
the same way.
Judah's dream vacation is a weekend with Bigfoot in the mountains.
is that where he goes?
Yeah. He has a cabin. He and the Yeti share a cabin.
Well, who's your comedy class? Who are the guys that you came up with? That
I feel like Attell is like a class ahead.
Yeah.
Like Judah's my class.
Yeah.
And like Jimmy Norton's my class.
Uh-huh.
And Patrice was, of course.
You
that
guys
whole gang. You know?
all know each other when you were young.
Yeah, well, most of those guys were a little ahead of me. They had started maybe a year before, 2 years before, but there wasn't a lot of people who started like right at the same time that I did.
And by the way, somebody that starts a year or 2 years before you in comedy, just like in 7th grade and 9th grade, it's a gigantic difference.
It's hugely, totally.
You have figured out things in those first couple years,
but then I'm sure
that you can't teach. You know what I mean?
But then I'm sure years later, it's just like, we come from the same.
We're about the same.
We've done about the same.
time.
But
so if you started in like 89, you and somebody in 93 are the same now.
Right. I started in 93, and I think a lot of those guys started around 89, 90.
Right. So by the time you're working on your 5 minutes, they've got 20, 25, and it just looks like light years.
Right. And you probably just get so many crazy experiences within the first 2 years.
And that was kind of the dark age of comedy when you start too. Like the clubs weren't as hot.
Everybody was like, it'll never be like it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now it's just completely blown the 80s craze, stand-up craze out of the water. It's like nothing compared to what it is now.
But the thing is, there's so many young comedians that they have almost zero chance in the Manhattan clubs. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
When you
it's
came
even
in,
tougher.
you could work the Manhattan clubs, right? When you
you had to
up
get
and
in.
coming.
You couldn't just, it took me a while to work my way into where I was doing weekends at all the clubs.
Yeah.
It took me like 8 years to do that.
Well, what was the first for you? What was the first club that...
The first club I ever performed at in New York was the old Boston Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic, though.
Yeah.
And then what was your first home club where like you were welcome?
The Cellar after that.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of was like, oh, it's right around the corner. Back then, Mike Royce, who's like a Hollywood mogul now.
Yeah.
He's written some great stuff in that show. He wrote and produced that show with Ray, Men of a Certain Age,
right.
which I thought was a great show.
Yeah.
He was the guy running the late night at the Cellar at the time. So you would go and audition for him. And if he passed you, then you'd get 5-minute spots. And you got a beer. That was your pay.
That was your pay. You got a nice
got
beer.
one drink, yeah. And then eventually they became food spots. So we'd get fed,
Yeah.
But I used to call in, and Esty would read off all the spots for the whole week on an outgoing message. So you'd have to sit there and write down. She'd be like, Monday, 12:45, Ben Bailey. 12:51, Judith Friedlander. And she would go through the whole week.
To everybody else's
you listen
spot.
to the entire schedule for the whole week and write down which days and times you had. It's like a different era, It wasn't even that long ago.
But anything that was like pre-internet seems like crazy now. Like
or cell phone. I'm like, how did I ever find my way anywhere?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't even remember how I did it. Honestly, I had maps. Remember those?
Yeah. Physical map. And there was like, when you worked out of town, if you had to hit the road, there was no guarantee. You know what I mean? There was nothing, and there you are. You're driving with a map into a town. Hopefully that club is there, and hopefully they're going to pay you what they promised on the phone. Some stranger.
Yeah, someone you've never met.
I think it's funny how outdated MapQuest is. And that was
that was the big deal.
That was cutting edge.
When I was driving, like when I was in college, MapQuest became a thing. And then we were like, how did anyone do this before? And now I would be like,
MapQuest.
If someone handed me this, you're like, how would you expect me to get there with this? How am I supposed to read and drive at the same time?
This is useless junk, this MapQuest. So dated.
Yeah, all old comedy was like, men won't ask for directions. Now no one has to ask for directions. You have a magical friend sitting next to you telling you when to turn.
It'd be funny to just, to kind of do it the old-fashioned way, just drive around and ask people for directions just to see their reaction.
Yeah.
How many of them would be like, just look it up on your phone? You tell me how to, what? No.
Well, people even have walking directions in New York City now where they'll say, go down to this. I'm like, we're on a fucking grid here. You're safe.
The streets are numbered.
The weird thing is you end up relying on it because you can estimate your time from, like, if you're taking a train. So you might just do it because you're like, oh, let's see about how long.
Right.
And then since you have it on Google Maps, you're like, oh, did I make a right at the wrong street? And then you're like, I used to just do this. I used to just get on a train and go to a restaurant I've never been to.
I'm like, why am I listening to this thing? I know where I'm going. I know where my house is. Why am I following the step-by-step directions to my home?
When you're on the road,
I told this car where I live. It wouldn't even know without me.
when you're on the road, do you explore cities though, or you a hotel
yeah.
to get? Do you?
I like to stay downtown. Often the clubs or the whatever are a little bit out of town.
Yeah.
But I like to stay in the downtown and kind of check it out. It's better than it used to be. 10 years ago, that was kind of a dangerous thing to do in a lot of cities in the U.S. But a lot of them are coming back, and it's pretty cool to see.
It's hard to believe. Well, I mean, New York alone, the fact that New York came back was 0 people predicted it. But Philly, Cleveland is now doing strong. Chicago is
Atlanta.
Atlanta
used to
be a
downtown.
scary place.
San Diego's downtown is booming right now. I was just there. It's cool to see.
People want to be city people now. And you know what that means? More caps, more cash cap.
We should branch out. The population growth.
Obviously, Cash Cab, it's airing Sundays, 10 o'clock on the Discovery Channel. But Ben is performing at the Carolines Comedy Club December 14th and the 16th. And he's, that's the first love. You're a hilarious comic, and that's the first love. That never, no matter what you're doing, acting, nothing else, it's always stand up with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have to do it, it seems, And I don't mean that to sound like I don't want to. I'm just like, if I don't for too long, because I get busy with Cash Cab or whatever, I'm like, I start jonesing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to go do a show.
Now, do you think
I can't remember where I left off. It's like
it's the immediate laugh. Is that what does it for you? The fact that you can see people laughing?
Maybe, but I kind of can't imagine it without that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. Like, I kind of have to have a new bit. I have a new bit, and it'll last me several weeks.
Right.
If I have a new one that I really like that keeps growing and getting, better and better. And if I don't have one of those that's like relatively new or brand new, then I don't know. I just feel kind of lost.
And
not just on stage. I mean, in general, I feel like I have to have a chunk that I'm working on.
Yeah. And you work right from something that on stage too, right? I've seen you.
Oh yeah.
I've seen you go. What? He'll say something, and then he'll go, "Man, there's something there." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the next night he'll have 2 lines, and be playing with it a little bit.
That's the fun for me.
That is,
part. It's like to let it grow, to like be able to recognize something that's a good idea.
That's also the fun thing to save.
Spot,
I think for an audience, that's what I love about a comedy club.
Yeah.
Because if you're a comedy regular, you could see somebody doing that. There's no other art form in the world.
Yeah.
Where like Paul McCartney never went, does this make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
is this a song?
All you need is something. I'm not sure what it is, but you do. By the way, this is John Lennon's song. That's how far off I am.
But you made your point, though.
Yes.
We knew what you meant.
Thank you very much.
You don't go to the hospital and the doctors are like, let's see how this works. Let's see how this goes over.
Is this something?
Yeah.
Is this something we can do without killing people?
Now, in Cash Cab, you're doing that kind of stuff, but somebody else is editing. When you see it, you go, oh, that's what they picked out of all the people.
I don't watch the show.
You don't? You can't do it?
Not really. I don't. No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will once in a while, like if my kids want to watch or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's why. I don't know why. But they cut out most of the stuff that I do.
Sure.
That that's fun
That
and
you
funny
love.
that I really like, because that's not what the show's about.
Right.
The game has to move at a certain pace to keep it fun.
Yeah.
That's why I started making those ridiculous faces to the camera.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right, well, at least I know they're shooting now.
Right.
So I'll just start mugging, just making these weird faces. So try to be funny somehow,
But you feel like, oh, man, because I think most performers actors think this all the time. That's what you picked out of everything that I gave you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's what you did.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible when you think of how much is shot in a movie, a TV show. It's impossible to make that thing fit. And you're right. The central idea has to come through. People are watching a game show.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
then I kind of like muscled a few things in there, like the faces, and then what we came to call the postscript.
Oh,
which is that little wrap up after they get out. I have like one line.
Yeah.
And we would spend so much time. I would try to, come up with the perfect little thing. Sometimes it was off the cuff, but then it was like, all right, let's take a minute. try to find something fun. And by the last season, I feel like I may have told you guys this last time I was here. Those little postscripts were like 10-second movies. We had all this stuff going on outside the cab, like people dressed up as characters and things from that were in the questions from that game. And they didn't use any of them.
Didn't use a bit
they
of
were
it.
just too big and silly, but we were all having so much fun doing what we loved. It was so we just did it anyway. There's one where I was dressed as a Wookiee.
Yeah.
Like they were pretty extreme. Like they were really fun, man.
Well, it's funny how big game shows have gotten. It's one of the reasons why I like Cash Cab, because no one is there's not a giant thing. There's no
like a giant
being shot out of a cannon.
Yes, it's just insane. I'm really, Cash Cab to me is like, if you're taking a road trip with your friends, you're always like, let's just try to stay busy.
Right.
And stump each other with stuff, or do you remember,
But even at like home trivia games, like I like just like having the cards, because then you're just in a conversation. Right. But if you're sitting there and you're like playing the board game and moving pieces, like it's just too much. So
you're
Cash Cab,
a casual trivial pursuiter. Like
exactly.
You're like, oh, here's one for you.
Yeah. So like
most of the science and nature questions, the answer is Thomas Edison.
Well, he was great. No one ever brings that up. He was fantastic.
Top of his game.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Just rifling through the cards and throwing questions out.
Ben Bailey is so much fun. Go see him on stage, Caroline's Comedy Club, December 14th through the 16th, carolines.com for tickets. Cash Cab is back and airing Sundays at 10 p.m. on the Discovery channel. Yeah.
You could put it on Disney.
I don't know where I got that.
Fun.
And people like Susie Essman, Jeff Garland, Matthew Perry, all going to be on. Great to see you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
And,
great to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
See you
Check out
next
my
time.
website, everybody, The Real Ben Bailey. And I'm Real Ben Bailey on social media.
All right. Right back.
Bennington, Raw Dog Comedy, Sirius XM 99.
Gentlemen, your first T-shirts have arrived. It's the record company's mistake, and they will pay. T-shirts gone, band happy, all right?
Can we just skip the vibe and go straight to us laughing about this?
Yeah, okay.
Because I can see by your face you want to get into it.
How can you tell? I'm just one of the out of focus guys.
Here. Take it. Let's take a good look at it, all right? See, you love this T-shirt. It lets you say everything you want to say.
Well, it speaks pretty loudly to me.
It's a T-shirt. Do you give a shit about a T-shirt?
I'm just hungry, man. Let's just go out and find some barbecue or something.
Look, I'm always going to tell you the truth.
Are you doing coke again?
Oh, yeah, all the time. This is big stuff, man. From the very beginning, we said I'm the front man, and you're the guitarist with Mystique. That's the dynamic we agreed on. Page, Plant, Mick, Keith, Blackmore, Gillen. But somehow it's all turning around. We have got to control what's happening. There's a responsibility here.
Excuse me, but didn't we all get into this to avoid responsibility?
I can't say any more with the writer here.
No. You can trust him. Say what you want. He won't write it.
Look, I work as hard or harder than anybody on that stage. You know what I do? I connect. I get people off. I look for the one guy who isn't getting off, and I make him get off. Actually, that you can print. And yet, why do I always end up feeling like I'm a joke to you? Look, do you want to pretend that this isn't going to be a very big band? Well, it is. You call yourself a leader of this band, but your direction allowed this T-shirt when you allowed Dick to manage us, because he's your friend. Don't you see, man? The T-shirt is everything.
All right, is it my turn now? Because I think we should, for once, say what we really mean.
Oh, this is the part where you quit.
Right, I'm so predictable.
Deal with it. And let me just say what nobody else wants to say to you. Your looks have become a problem. You can see that up on Twitter. That's the Almost Bennington sketch that we kind of lip synced along to the scene from Almost Famous. Chris kills his character.
He really does. He nails it.
I thought that Vito stupidly had just let the regular movie play through. And then I found out later, no, that's our own very talented Chris Stanley.
Everybody, your first T-shirts have arrived.
That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
It's the record company's mistake.
Here's what we learned today. This show is way more dependable on Jen than we ever thought.
We didn't realize. We did not realize. We took her for granted.
This, between the prep, the way we bring people into the room, the refreshments, we were a monkey fucking a football all day today. So I'm going to ask the mayor's office to stop terrorism at any of our transport stops so we can get our producers in and out of town.
Thank you.
Okay?
That'd be nice.
After 8 years of Obama lollygagging around terrorism, it's time we strike down. And I want to move the capital of the United States to the bus station.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. That's what we do when we don't like things. We move the capital.
Okay.
So the Almost Bennington T-shirts are here, and we're saying today, if you order one, you also get a signed Thanksgiving show poster. The same poster that our very good friend Disco Dan told me were from his favorite night as an observer of it. He said it was the best show
Oh,
that
that's
he's
so
ever seen of
sweet.
any kind.
The best.
Yeah. You're doing a podcast now, right?
I am. I'm hosting a new podcast with my friend.
Really? You have a friend?
I have one. I have one friend.
If
Yes.
you can make one good friend this summer, is what I tell.
Yeah.
I have a camp called Camp Meatballs, and every year I take that little shy kid and I say, if you could just make one good friend, and then I'll say, look, if you're not busy, we'll come to my place. We'll gamble for peanuts and we'll put them in a sombrero, and at the end of the year, I'm going to call you Woody the Wabbit and tell you, yeah, you can beat him. So anyway, you and your friend.
My friend Sam Wagstaff, who works in immigration in Washington, D.C. area, are co-hosting.
Done a great fucking job with this last terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're co-hosting a show called what?
It's called The Plunge, and the premise is we plunge out the torrent of horrific, politics and pop culture that are flying at us, every day. There's so much going on
That's
right now.
That's a terrible title.
I thought you were plunging. I thought you were plunging into it.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're plunging deeply into it. We're going into it.
Oh.
You're taking the plunge.
Oh,
We're
okay.
taking
You're
the
taking the plunge.
Right.
You're
How
not
many
plunging
episodes
shit.
have you done?
I've done 8 episodes.
And how many listeners do you think you have right now?
Well, one of the episodes has 80.
All right.
That's
Sweet.
good. Good.
Some of them have 25.
Okay, that's not as good. 80 is where you want to be. Now, and we'll tweet for you as well. When's the next episode of The Plunge?
It just dropped one late last night.
What was that about?
So we talked about a bunch of things. Bill Clinton wrote this really horrible op-ed in the Washington Post where he's he says something like, the only thing that is gonna ruin this country is if we're all divided. And it's yeah, because we all need a homogenized.
You're not happy with Clinton.
I'm not happy with Clinton. We talked about Trump. Remember, did you see
You're
Trump
happy.
talking
You're
about?
happier with Trump?
Well, I'm happy about his brain giving out on him last week when he's talking about Israel and he starts
Yeah.
Boy, bullying.
Bullying.
Special needs, man.
Our special needs.
All right, the White House just said that Trump directly responded to accusers' false claims and their false flags. All right, who are the people who have now people are calling on Trump to resign? Oddly, all Democrats.
Weird. I wonder why.
The white bird in a golden golden cage. Tell me how we can listen to your podcast.
You can hear it on SoundCloud or Stitcher. iTunes keeps rejecting it because it's too hot.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know iTunes rejected anything.
Me too. I'm trying to figure it out. I keep sending it, and they're like, no, you're not.
There's Nazi podcast on there.
This is not a show.
Look, the Plunge just dropped one last night. Sounds like somebody took a shit, if I'm going to be totally honest. All right, so do we have the SoundCloud thing for people who want to try it?
Yeah, I'll link it on Twitter. You can follow a Twitter page for the show where everything's pinned
Plunge?
there. It's Plunge_podcast.
Okay.
So follow that shit and learn about it's really like a kind of about how I felt very like liberal before in my life, and then I've moved leftwards as the country I feel like has devolved into.
So you're even more left than you were.
Yeah, I am.
Wow,
Even
that
more
surprised
than,
me.
a while ago.
When someone says that they've moved from their liberal leanings, I don't think they're more liberal.
I moved and now I'm super liberal.
So what liberal thing, what do you think that you're more liberal than any of us on? What's something that we would even find to be shockingly liberal?
More liberal than you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should abolish the police force.
Holy shit.
Okay, that's liberal, dude.
I don't
Actually,
know one
is it?
nation.
I'm not sure it is.
I don't have one nation that doesn't believe in police.
They are an organized gang. You know, they might sometimes, help out with a little terrorist attack, but you know what? Overall, they have those long guns, and we got to stop them.
Now,
how can we stop them if they have the guns?
Well, that's the question.
But do you have a suggestion of something that's going to replace it, or just mayhem?
Can I come up with a suggestion?
Okay.
Robot attack dogs.
Okay.
Robot attack dogs. They have all those paramilitary gear, that we saw after Ferguson. So attack dogs are, we can probably get Blackwater and stuff to give us some of those.
This is one crazy show, this Plunge.
I know.
Could I ask you a
I feel
favor?
like I'm taking the plunge.
Have Chris Stanley on it, and I'll plug it that day.
Absolutely, I would
Chris,
love to.
I know you like to. It's me. That's me. I just start rocking to the Kinks in my pants. Don't be alarmed, everybody.
I was alarmed, I'll be honest.
I'm just a big fan of the Kinks.
Okay.
Particularly this time of year. Hey, congrats to all us for not playing Christmas music this week.
Yeah, we thought about it, and then we decided let's wait till the last possible minute.
You don't want to miss the matter of fact, I saw Liam today, and he goes like this: "You guys running a bunch of original programming to the end of the year?" And I go, "And more, my friend." And he goes, "Unbelievable." He goes, "There's not another show that does what you guys do." And I go, "The other shows don't love their listeners.
We love our listeners, and that's why we give them original gangsta stuff.
Not only do we love them, we'll make love to them."
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will hump every single listener.
Me too.
Me three.
That's starting to get a little too cummy. Well, you're a very liberal man on the Plunge.
Yeah, we talk about, something I'm really interested in is this alt-right stuff, because people are angry at Steve Bannon having a show here, and I don't feel great about it. But at the same time, people don't boycott their fucking Verizon package because they play Sean Hannity. It's kind of just, it's not really.
I won't use Google because you can go, they'll take people to Breitbart. I mean, it's embarrassing.
They made a genocide when the Americans came here. So if you live here, you're a genocider. So you shouldn't live here.
But also the same thing is you don't want to be against free speech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, even if you don't agree with the speech, what you need is better speech than the other people. So
I could host like an anarchist radio show, and then we're balanced out.
Right. They won't put the Plunge on iTunes. Why? They're not ready to plunge.
They can't take the plunge.
They don't want to hear what I have to say because I'm saying the truth, Ron. I'm bad for big business.
Oh, you don't like big business?
No, I don't like big business. Capitalism is violence.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have an anarchist, leftist, communist, socialist on my show today, and yet he does like disco. He's disco dad.
Interesting.
Capitalism did create disco, and
what shows are you producing now?
I'm producing the Craig Ferguson show.
Does Craig agree with your viewpoints?
We don't do politics. It's kind of explicitly on the show. He really doesn't want to do politics, so I don't really get to do my ravings on there.
Right. Okay. Too bad. Too bad for the listeners out there who would love to hear some of this.
I know.
I think I could change some hearts and some minds.
I think you need to change Craig Ferguson first, and then you can get to be more.
Then I could have all of Scotland on my side.
That would be something. That would be something. All right, we got to wrap this up. Thanks to Ben Bailey for coming in. Dan, thank you for jumping in here today during the terrorist attack. You're the best, buddy, even though you're a leftist, anarchist, socialist,
Follow plunge_podcast on Twitter, please.
We like to get lower. We want to move past the 25 back into the 80s. You know, I think you do better if you just spoonful of sugar with all these things that you're doing. You know what I mean?
You don't make it easy on anybody.
I always say you get more listeners with honey than you do with dog shit. I always said that to people. Remember today, if you go order the Almost Famous T-shirt, you also get the signed poster.
You're going to go to BenningtonShow.com or iBangShop.com to order your shirt. If you order today, not only do you get the free poster, but ordering today gets you your shirt by Christmas.
Not necessarily your poster.
Poster, I'll get you that poster by Christmas.
Sometimes I think of it this way. You can buy a poster and get a free T-shirt. It's all the same. You know what I mean?
However you want to justify it in your head.
Because I've called up late night before and I go, I want to pay for the second one, what I want the first one free. You know? I want 2 water picks, but paying for the first free. Write to our friend at Real Ben Bailey on Twitter and tell him that you enjoyed him today on the Bennington Show. At Real Ben Bailey. He's a sweet guy. He really is.
I love him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Let's say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you all again
in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!